This is absolutely spectacular. And from nowhere, full stretch. Absolutely stunning. Look at his face.
Well, it's all said that the contest and the second game of the day to continue beginning. This is between the Lightning and UAE men's. So I've been joined by Qasim. Qasim, welcome to the Combox.
Thank you very much, Ahmed, and thank you for welcoming me here. It's a fantastic day, and Lancashire Lightning have actually won the toss and have elected to bat first. Should be an interesting encounter between the two teams. Obviously, the Lightning playing their first game of the tour, and the UAE boys well used to these conditions.
Yeah, it's a friendly game, as we know that. A pre-season tour, friendlies between Lancashire Cricket Lightning. It is between now to UAE young team, a very young side of UAE, because the men's team usually they are busy with the other works they have assigned. They have a series going on, so plenty of opportunity for youngsters also to rub shoulders like these greats of Lancashire Lightnings.
Absolutely, it's going to be a really good contest between the young and the experience of the Lancashire Lightning team. It'll be an interesting poise to see some of the young, inexperienced players at this level coming through. I'd like to see the UAE under-19 boys doing really well. They've just come back from a successful West Indies tour, and it'll be an interesting challenge for them against some of the Lancashire hotspot names who've been performing well over in the English county system.
Yeah, indeed. They got plenty of big names there, and they have just won the batting, and they'll definitely do the batting part first. We need to see how they get back. Well, those are two batters opening.
Yeah, interesting combination with Keaton Jennings coming out there and Josh Bohannon. Bosch, as he's known to the English county circuit, he does give it a bit of a Bosch in the T20 format. Jennings will start to steady the ship up a little bit, but he's an explosive batter as well. Left-hand, right-hand combination, and I'm sure they'll put the UAE boys under a quick test early doors on this very attractive wicket. Looks very flat, and I'm sure there's plenty of runs on this ground.
Yeah, because the first game is just got done, and it will be getting more easier and easier to bat on, because those grass is just about to dry out, and the dry conditions there, not an easy conditions. You're the right man to talk about the conditions between UK and UAE, because you've been in both sides of the end of this world. Tell us how hard it is to adopt in the conditions from UK and to UAE.
I think one of the key challenges out here is obviously the surface and the soil. A lot of the English soil in the county system in England is very much the English soil in itself. So out here they use different types of soils, but that's actually good for practice as well and good for preparation. Lots of spin on these sort of wickets out here. Not always bounce and carry like you would probably get in Australia, but actually some decent pace in the wicket. But actually what we will see early doors is the likes of Sultan going against a left-handed batsman, which he's been used to in franchise cricket. So he'll be very used to these sort of wickets as well and these sort of grounds, because he's played all his career out here. But Jennings will be an interesting challenge for him. Obviously his first outing in the match conditions, but also a first time to probably see Sultan coming against him.
Yeah, indeed. Sultan knows a lot about the spinning things, and he's very used to with the new ball we have seen over the years. He represented, started his career before representing UAE from Sialkot Stallions. He played for under the captaincy of Shoaib Malik, plenty of experience from there, and then making into the UAE side, and now he's working, he's in and out in the team, and plenty of options that we have in left armers in UAE, the spin left arm spinners we have been blessed with.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this side already, you can see young Ayan supporting the left arm spin, and also Nilanch there as well, and Aryan Lakra. So they're playing with 4 left arm spinners. I'm not sure where the selection of this came from, but obviously a good opportunity for all 4 left arm spinners to showcase their skills early doors.
Well, straight away into the action, outside edge, and Sultan is not happy. It's started with a boundary, but it all counts.
Yeah, it certainly does, and I'm sure Keaton Jennings would have been ready for that ball to come off, and he's obviously settled his account and started his account quite comfortably there. That'll settle the nerves early doors, the runs on the board, and the first part of the game in the season so far. So, not pretty, but it's 4 in the book.
Yeah, I didn't read the delivery at all. Was expecting the ball to turn out the. Oh, this is good delivery. Excellent ball from Sultan Ahmed. Keating Jennings is just trying to develop things. He's just got new and trying to understand the conditions. The first ball he got the outside edge lucky. There was no slipping.
And a bit of a run option straight away there, and a bit of a mistake in the calling. I think it's important for these two batters just to start their account, get settled into the wicket, and then obviously look to build an innings and explore from there. It's the first game of the season for the Lancashire Lightning, and I'm sure the batters will want to spend some quality time on this wicket and obviously set their platform up for the second innings.
How much do you back the decision to tour UAE?
I think it's a fantastic decision. It's great. The weather's here. A lot of the counties are already out here. It's great from a cricket perspective and to grow the UAE game as well, playing against some excellent oppositions. And, you know, you're going to get some different pitches and conditions out here. So it's a good challenge for the counties to be out here. There's obviously other destinations where people would like to go, but it's great to see the county system coming out here and exploring the desert, as they say.
Yeah, it's a beautiful ground that they are playing on. Sevens. And the facilities are top class. Just off the mark with a single.
And I think that's clever bowling early doors to Josh Bahan and just tucking him up into the hip line there. And that's a great shot there.
Well, Sultan Ahmed to his last delivery. And nicely punched it. No chance of a run. So the over number first comes to an end. 5 of it. No wicket. So lots of chats is going to be taking place where I have Qasim alongside with me. Knows a lot about English conditions and English county. The right man at the right place. And talking about the skipper, Jennings has just got down there in the middle. So tell him about more about him that you have seen him over the years.
Yeah, so I spent 7 wonderful years at Lancashire County Cricket Club, obviously working with the coaching staff for the indoor centre and obviously some of the players that you're seeing on the screen here. Jennings just came at the back end of my period there. A good left-handed batsman, obviously played international cricket, got 100 on test debut, a fantastic red ball cricketer, but also dominating in the white ball game as well. So great experience, a wonderful guy and a great athlete, so really contributes towards all formats of the game and a great acquisition for Lancashire County Cricket Club.
Yeah, definitely shows his class leading the side today. So that's Sanchit Sharma. So must be going a lot of discussions between this young Alishan Sharf, who is leading the side of UAE. A lot of responsibilities at the young players.
Yeah, interesting opportunity there from Ali Shan there. Good individual, obviously led the under-19s World Cup campaign, and a good uh, product for UAE cricket. An attacking batsman, obviously bowls a little bit as well, but it's tipped to be one of the next best players of UAE cricket, and I've seen him live firsthand in the junior system, and he's a very attractive cricketer, and I'm sure he'll be having a long future with UAE.
Yeah, won certainly the platter trophy for the UAE under 19 in the Windies. We had a top class performance from Ayan Khan as well, scoring 97 runs in West Indies in a very crucial semi-finals.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a dynamite cricketer. I really have a lot of time for Ayan Khan. Watching him over the last 5 years, he's been fantastic. Left arm spin bowler, really darts it in, has a different couple of variations. I had the pleasure of spending some time with him in UAE under 16s in Oman to see him grow during that series. Exciting cricketer.
Yeah, he's wonderful cricketer. We are blessed with, as we have mentioned, we are blessed with a lot of left-arm spinners option. We've got Nilansh Keswani, we have got Aryan Lakra, we have got Sultan Ahmed. You talk about, there's a plenty of bowling options.
There's also Josh in there as well, so Josh to sort of count in there.
Our skipper says it all, and Ahmed Raza, he's a left-arm spinner. You talk about left-arm spinners. I think it's the land who produces the left-arm spinners, the UAE. Meantime, Sanchit Sharma, he's an excellent bowler. We just earlier saw his sister played here, Khushi Sharma, and the brother is just both of them representing UAE.
And a very proud moment, I'm sure, is for the Sharma family to see both of their children representing on such a big stage and obviously playing for UAE in the national colours. Sanchit Sharma is an excellent individual, a good all-rounder, a good athlete, and obviously opening the bowling there.
Yeah, that was excellent back foot punch. Got 4 runs. Bohanan getting that first boundary. I reckon it was Keaton.
Yeah, there was some width on offer there, and Keaton's just tucked into that nicely as a left-handed batsman should.
Yeah, that's a good delivery coming back into the left-hander. Quick running, single taken.
Nice shape there from Sanchit early doors. Good to see that from an opening bowler. A little bit of shape coming back into the left-hander, and I'm sure he can bring that back into the pads at some point. That's what he's hoping for. Bosch coming back on strike now. It'll be interesting to see the outswing of Sanchit against a right-handed batsman.
Oh, pulled it nicely. I think the launch coming in, or Ali Nasir was there. Maybe Ali Nasir. In the deep, Matiullah Khan, another fast bowler. Interesting, UAE not going with a 2 fast bowlers option because they have got plenty of spinning options. So I think, yeah, they'll stick with Sultan Ahmed, and usually he opens the inning for UAE with the ball.
Yeah, just one quick over there for him.
He bowled well. That was outside edge, which gave 4 runs to Lightnings. Oh, that's a good delivery. Just played it towards the onside for a single. Quick running there.
And that's the shape I'm talking about from a right-handed swing bowler coming back into the lefty. Early doors for against Jennings. If he can just get that to shape up a little bit closer to the stump line, it'll be an interesting sort of decision to see whether we can get a hit in between the stumps.
Yeah, it's always difficult to play across the line when these balls are coming at you. So Sharma. Yeah, lovely ball there, an excellent fielding. Just these will not stop the batsmen of Lightning to take singles. They are very quick between the wickets. That's something that I think these young batters of UAE will learn from them.
Absolutely, and these guys have been playing professional cricket for a long time. They would know each batsman's strengths and obviously the psyche between themselves and the running partnership. Anything inside the circle early doors is a single for me, especially if the guys are stuck on the circle when they're fielding.
Yeah, bringing Sultan Ahmed back on the strike. The 2 overs gone now. He'll be hunting for some wickets. The left arm spinning option. The captain Ali Shan is looking for the wicket, and he's doing a fine job with the ball. I think he's just creating those chances. Played a lot of franchise cricket. Plenty of experience to his name. Making some changes. I think having a slip in against the left hand would be a good. The right hand, I beg your pardon, but he usually bowls the shapes in the armour. Yeah, maybe a right choice to step out and play it, cut down that arm swing.
Yeah, I don't think Josh is going to let him settle here. He's probably seen him in franchise cricket a little bit, but Sultan is going to try and get that arm ball coming back in, bowl it quite flat.
Yeah, that was a lovely delivery targeting those pads. I think stepping out was a good option against Sultan Ahmed because what he does, he uses a lot of arm deliveries. So by doing so that he doesn't give you a lot of time to settle. Oh, nicely bowled on target.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of working with Sultan in one of the franchises just gone recently. An excellent young individual, obviously became a father during that tournament as well. So he's desperate to perform here and showcase the UAE selectors that he's worthy of going to the World Cup. And a good performance he wants to put in.
Yeah, it's sort of a awakening call for the entire UAE players because who will get the ticket to Australia? I think they'll put 100% what they got. Oh, knocks the bails out. Gets the furniture disturbed. A wicket for Sultan Ahmed.
That's a fantastic delivery from Sultan. Just slightly back of the length. Obviously trying to push it, the batsman back onto the back foot. And he's just sort of done him for pace a little bit there. And obviously that's an early departure for the Lancashire Lightning. Josh Bohannon gone.
Well, the new batter joins the captain, Rob Jones, coming in a little earlier than expected, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the Lancashire Lightning would have liked to have seen Josh Bohannon to carry on there. But a good chance for Jonesy to come in now and obviously settle in nice and early and get some runs on the board here. I think he'll want to spend some quality time knowing Jonesy. He's a very exciting young cricketer and he's been around with Lancashire for a couple of years now. Establishes his place in both the formats and is classed as one of the senior players now. So, yeah, excellent from him.
Yeah, a lot of responsibility. Ed is, it's solidly behind it. So a lot of responsibilities comes in as number 3 batsman also. That adds up because that is the most crucial number where you can come in a batsman. You need 2 things very solid. Solid defense and you need to slog the balls pretty hard. That's the end of the over number 3. We've just got a 1 wicket down. Well, with the Sanchit Sharma will continue his spell. coming in. A pretty good. Oh, this one is hit and perfectly into the gap. Runs away for 4 runs. Excellent shot.
Yeah, and with offer again from Sanchez there, and a quality player like Jennings is just going to cash in on that. That's bread and butter for a left-hander, and as you can see, that's a cruel sort of learning period for young Sanchez there. Is to stay on the stumps as close as possible, as tight as possible. So he's going to change his lineup here a little bit. Let's see if he can have some better effect.
Yeah, that's what we were expecting. This when the margin of error just gets smaller and smaller when you play a quality game. And these players have played years and years. Oh, excellent comeback there from Sanchez. Just back of the line delivery.
Good change up. It looked like a slow bouncer to me, but obviously it's a bit deceptive in these 4 balls here. But it was a good change up from Sanchez, and it just goes to show that the experience that he's had over the last couple of years playing in the senior team to probably put that on early doors. Keaton Jennings just asking whether it was a shoulder height no ball.
Well, you really need to bowl a lot of bounce to beat that height. He's very tall lad. An excellent game in the spirit of the friendly game that we got. I think it's a perfect for both the teams, a win-win situation where the Lancashire Lightnings were looking to start their season just a couple of games before the season kicks on, and where UAE was looking to hunt their talented bunch of the lads who will travel to Australia. Just a combination. It's maybe a right time to bring things together.
Yeah, absolutely. Just allows the county players to come across here and get some quality preparation outdoors. They're desperate to get out over the sort of winter period, and what a great place to be in, and playing some quality cricket. Game time is always important on tour. It's not just about netting or getting outside, it's about actually having some quality game time.
It's that I think the Lancashire players would love to tour the city as well. It's a beautiful city, Dubai, to be in. It's a world famous city. You can and maybe right time of the month to come in, and you can have where you can have chilly nights and a bit of sunny days.
Dates for sure, but also get across to the expo and see a couple of the fantastic opportunities that are out there, and I'm sure these guys with their sponsors they will be heading out that way. But it's a great city to be in, and obviously this time of year the heat is just starting to kick in now, and this will be a really good challenge for the boys to be out there amongst the sort of pressure of the game, but also in this fantastic heat.
Yeah, I think we've been missing this action because of the COVID restrictions that we've been through. I mean, any action we were been missing this, but now since we're just easing the things are getting settled, and it's a good opportunity for both the teams where they were looking for the practice games, and I think it can't get better than this.
Be interesting to see how Rob Jones just starts to approach this. Obviously an early wicket for Lancashire. He's just trying to settle himself in, but can't take too long to settle in. It is a 20 over game, and the guys need to start kicking on if they're going to attack this power play early doors.
Just played it well. The ball just kindly took a pause after hitting the surface, so the ball is doing a bit of a skid work there. Sanchez need to work on that. That concludes the over number 4. Comes to an end. 1 wicket down already. So Qasim, tell us, when you were new into the UAE and coming from the UK, obviously, that how did you felt the weather, the atmosphere, the country, the hospitality? Tell us about it.
Oh wow! So I've been here just started my 6th year now, and I came in January, so the weather was actually quite good. It was a good time to come and acclimatise. But the fantastic reception that I've had from a lot of people, families, players, the community generally, the cricket fraternity. Obviously, building a good rapport with these guys and a relationship, but most importantly with the players and the families that are involved in the academy. And that's an appeal for a leg LBW there from Sultan. He's clearly not happy with that reaction. He seems to think it would have been going on and hitting the stumps, maybe just outside the line of leg stump in point of contact. Umpire's given a leg by there.
Yeah, this will tell us a better story. I think that was very, very close, very, very close, and he's got all the reasons to be unhappy.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was going on to hit the stumps with the ball just coming back in, hitting the top of the thigh pad there. But yeah, definitely very close.
The only thing he was pitching outside leg me because the reason the umpire just denied him. Otherwise, it was looking right in front. Just played towards the end. Tell us more about the spinning options that the Lightning teams have got the spinners in their side.
Yeah, the Lightning team have got some very good spinners in the side. In terms of the young bowlers there,
Just a drag towards the onside, and it will be a single available. These young boys have to really work hard.
yeah, we spoke about some of the spin bowling options there. Rob Jones actually bowls a bit of leg spin himself. Tom Hartley's in there. Crofty will obviously bowl his tweaky pies that he's been doing for a fair bit. And then obviously Jack Morley's in there as well. So they're well equipped with some really good spin options there. But the one that I'm really excited about is probably Tom Hartley, early doors. You know, he's a good left arm spin bowler. He's had a really good season last year. Obviously played in the 100 as well. And obviously from a spin perspective, another left arm spin bowler. So lots to show.
Yeah, I think both the teams is. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure these Lancashire Lightnings will be a little bit surprised to see a quality spin bowling that UAE have got. It's just Sultan Ahmed walking out. He's picked up a wicket to finish his third over on Throt. 5 overs gone. So 1 wicket is down. So it's the captain, Jennings, where he was talking to me earlier at the toss. He was saying that 160, 170 would be a good total to post on board. How much do you agree with that?
Yeah, pass score around this part of the world. 160, probably going on to 180 if they get a really good power play. But it'll be interesting to see at the back end of the game, at the back end of the innings, how well they sort of look to power on and whether they can kick on into what they would be doing back home in the Vitality Blast. Young Ali Nasir coming into the scene now, obviously right arm seam bowler, exciting prospect from the ICC Academy. And he's been over in the World Cup as well, so he's an exciting right-arm bowler, a left-handed exciting bat, and a really good athlete.
Yeah, he's super talented. We have seen in lots of domestic games in UAE participating in his special kid being looked after by Emirates Cricket Board. They are just really keeping in working a lot with a lot of coaches, and he's been practicing the games. An excellent player to watch. So he will be up against the Giants. Oh, that was excellently played. The shift from Keaton Jennings from front foot to back foot is an excellent. That shows he's really balancing there.
Yeah, we've spoken about. I've spoken a lot with Ali Nasir in the last couple of weeks about you know, developing skill to be ready for these occasions, these opportunities, these platforms. This is what us coaches work around with these young players to get them ready for any opportunity that comes along. And it'll be interesting to see how Ali goes here, continue to develop his progress against some excellent batters, especially a left-hander batting of Jennings who can explode at any time.
Stepping it out, hitting it towards the onside. Zaman, the deep sweeper, collects it. Mohammad Farazuddin, the fielder there, he's very quick, a very good fielder. Already he's young, but he's already been to a franchise cricketing world. So a lot the UAE cricket have developed over the years in franchise. They have introduced their players, rubbing shoulders with those greats of the games, playing a lot of franchise games.
Yeah, absolutely. Great opportunities for young players to come through the game, but also learn from their peers in the franchise cricket. Any bit of improvement to rub on getting some knowledge, but also being in the same dressing room, talking cricket, watching them play, seeing how they train, but just being in the general environment tends to improve your mindset, but also your ambition as well. That's a great delivery from Ali Nasir, a Yorker, picking up early doors against Rob Jones, who's not really got going yet, but knowing Jonesy, I think he's a very dominant player, and he can definitely turn the game on his head in an instance.
Well, I think UAE bowlers need to learn also how to develop the innings also to see the opponents and the batters of UAE also. They need to see how they develop the innings, the lightnings. They just taking singles or dot balls, and you'll see them playing a big shots in no time once they get settled. So it is more important to spend some time in wicket.
Yeah, absolutely. From a batting perspective, especially with the Lightning's first game, it's very important for the batters to just get some time in the middle. First game out for a lot of people. Rob Jones just seems to be struggling with the two pace of the wicket there. Keating, on the other hand, looks very comfortable and obviously got used to the wicket quite quickly there. But Jonesy just starting to, feel the difference in pace and just not quite timed it as well as he probably would have liked.
Straight over the bowler ahead. He knew it. It's four the moment it had the bat. Excellent shot.
Yeah, and a rude awakening for young Ali Nasir there. Just pitching over fuller than what he needs to be against a left-hander batter who's actually just going through the line of the ball. Stay back down the ground and back down as straight as you like for 4 runs.
Yeah, that's late swing going away from the left-hander. Even gets it easier for the batter. Sometimes swing can be your enemy. That was just right there if that wouldn't have swung.
Yeah, it was in his arc, and obviously from a left-hander's point of view, it's fantastic to be in the arc, and more than anything, I think it was length, and the length was there for him to just go through the line.
Pulled it on the onside. Just a single to get to the other end. I think that was excellent shot of the back foot. Jennings is just playing an excellent knock. So that will bring the power play to an end. So now no more fielding restrictions. The team UAE have introduced Matiullah Khan, and excellent fast bowler. Relies a lot on his pace, likes to bowl short. A push towards the onside. First runs completed so quickly. Jonas comes on a strike.
Yeah, an exciting prospect with Matiullah. Lovely action, a lot of pace. Good athlete as well. I've seen him train very hard for his opportunity to play for the national team. And he's wanting probably to put in a really good performance here against a very strong batting lineup from Lancashire.
Yes, some quick bowlers. If he hits the deck hard on his day, he can be very quick. Excellent bowler. He swings the ball as well, but they took him out. Does not bowl with the new ball anymore. A lovely use of the feet from Jonesy for single. Rope coming back for two. Excellent running. That is what is admiring me. The running between the wicket, between these Lightning team has been excellent.
Yeah, and that's good intent from Jonesy as well. Coming on the front foot and pulling is never easy, but he's made that look very comfortable running behind there. And he's a good athlete as well. Two fantastic athletes, and that's what these professional cricketers are all about now. It's about the fitness. Can they run the twos very quickly, and that's what they get measured on. Can they bring in the threes, etc., etc., and can they do that for long periods of time? That's good athleticism for me.
Oh, the ball kept slightly low there. It just bowled a slower one. That's a good tactic.
Change of pace, well disguised there. Well done, Matiola. Obviously, the length was quite crucial there. Kept a little bit low. Anything could happen on these sort of wickets if they're keeping low. But that was a good change up early doors to Rob Jones, especially with the ball previously going for 2 runs.
Yeah, indeed. Looked confident there. Just beating the batsman, Matiullah Khan. This play has been part and parcel of UAE. He's definitely in a big plans with the fast bowlers. If he gets going, if he gets chance to, tries to play a scoop shot there. I don't think so. That's any fast bowler would like the batsman to play that shot against him.
But that's a good option. I think right arm seam bowler coming in. It's a good option for Jonesy. I've seen him play that many times over the year. Inspired by Josh Butler as well, his fellow teammate. But again, I think that's a really good option against a bit of pace coming on early doors. And another release shot for Jonesy, but a little bit unsuccessful on that particular occasion.
A change of the line, and we need to see the umpire's decision on that. So, it's upon the umpire because of the MCG new rule says that umpire has the right to call it, and the wide deliveries would be given on approach of the batsman's how much he's close to the ball, not to the trim lines anymore.
Yeah, so Jonesy's tried to go again, but obviously quickly turned to go the other way because of the line that he was going on, but still unsuccessful.
He's holding across the seam. Maybe a short land delivery is the idea. Yeah, back of the length, cuts it well. There'll be 2 available.
Interesting to see from the bowler's perspective. He's gone with a lot of variation there, early doors in that first over. Obviously a lot of cutters into and that's what he's just trying to say, just cutting it into obviously the pitch there, and that last ball there was quite evident of the variation. Take the pace off, get a slow ball bouncer in there and see what happens. Whether you can create something or create an opportunity for a wicket or a missed timing.
So Ali Nasir to continue. With this time he bowled onto the pads. A chance of 4 runs and the ball is running away. Much needed boundary. He finds the gap. Gets 4 runs. Excellent batting. Jennings the skipper. It's very risky and a poor fielding there as well.
Yeah, and you find margins on this sort of ground here, especially against this opposition. You can't afford to give cheap runs away like that, especially a misfield at 45 there. So fine leg, short fine leg in there. Needs to be better.
Coming in with the angle. Stepping it out, a slow bouncer there. Change of a pace, varieties. It's all about the shorter format.
Yeah, clever bowling, clever change-up from Ali Nasir there, and it's good to see that he's holding his nerve up against a good, strong left-handed batsman. Good change-up early doors, and it's good to see that he's holding his nerve under pressure there and coming up with a solution.
Yeah, 40 runs is already scored in 7.2 with the loss of 1 wicket. So Rob along with Keaton in there, and Keaton is batting on 28 of 20 deliveries. He's steadied the innings where Rob really need to accelerate a bit now. He spent enough time on the crease to understand, and those scoop shot was out of the desperateness of runs maybe.
Maybe, but I think Jonesy will come back. He's a strong batter. Lots of experience behind him playing in different formats, so he's a strong batter. I think he'll come back. And this is what he's really good at, tucking it in, couple of runs, and then looking to explode at the back end of the game. So a very gutsy cricketer, very clever cricketer, good individual batsman and good athlete.
Yeah, that man, Aryan, is yet to come and bowl as well. He's got a role to play in the team. Looking a lot of youngsters and a chilling. That is what it's all about. Welcome to the UAE.
Yeah, the English coaching staff there wanted to stay out of the sun and get a good view. Fantastic fellas, a lot of experience, a lot of runs, a lot of wickets in county cricket as well, but a lot of qualifications there as well.
Oh, good throw. Shies the stumps and a quickly complete single. Yeah, not being able to find the gaps there. I think both the batters are just looking to take a boundary at the start of this over, starting with the boundary there. I think 8 or 9 runs they need to score every over from now onwards. They're just slightly behind that the score they kept in mind, that 170, 160. You need to score slightly with a healthy strike rate.
It'll be good to see Ali Nasir just finishing this over off. If we can just get out quietly from the remaining 2 balls, it'll be fantastic to see him. And that's another good delivery from Ali Nasir. Block hole, right into the block hole. Fantastic execution of skill there from the young man.
I think they're trying to frustrate Rob Jones there. Just pulling him on the block hole deliveries, just keeping him guessing, giving him the shortland deliveries. What they are targeting is that he haven't scored a boundary so far, so just keeping him in. There's a mind games also that these players are nowadays developed to play. They sort of understand the batsman's tactics, what is going on in his mind. Definitely Keaton Jennings is looking comfortable. He scored 29 of 21 deliveries. Oh, excellent shot towards the onside, and Fahd Nawaz comes in to cut it down from the boundary line, and that concludes the over. It's 44 for 1 after 8. So there will be change in the voice. I'll be replaced by Ahmed Khwaja. Ahmed Khwaja, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Abid. Delighted to join Qasim Ali in the Compox. Good afternoon, Qasim. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, sir. How are you? The dynamic duo back together.
Well, meanwhile, 44 for 1 after 8. Keaton Jennings in there, 30 of 22. But Rob Jones, he's had a real toil out there.
Yeah, it just seems to be struggling to sort of get equipped with the pace of the wicket. It doesn't help when the bowlers are mixing it up with variations. So it's very difficult for a batsman to just get himself in. But knowing Jonesy, I think he'll capitalise quite quickly. That's an excellent bit of fielding out there from Fahd Nawaz at extra cover.
Hard drive there from Keaton Jennings, pardon me. Good stop at extra cover. That was certainly screaming away for 4. Matiullah Khan, he's bowling with some decent pace here. He's banging the ball in short. Not sure if that's the right tactic on this wicket, but he is getting the batters to hop, skip and jump out there.
Yeah, interesting variations he's got, and it's good to see Matiullah performing at this level. I mentioned earlier on how hard he's worked to get himself into a position to perform and get an opportunity for UAE, and I just hope he does really well, puts in a good performance today, and can get himself in front of the selectors.
Absolutely, any one of these lads could walk into the UAE national team at a moment's notice. A lot of quality, a lot of depth in our cricket these days. Trying to slash that away, just bunting it to the right of the cover fielder for a single. So far they've kept a lid on the scoring, not letting the Lancashire batters run away with the game.
Yeah, and I think if there's any bit of sort of observation from the Lancs lads, maybe at the 8th over they'd probably like to be another 15, maybe 20 runs. But obviously the assessment on this wicket is probably about right. 41 for 1, 45 for 1, sorry, just after into the 8th over. So it'll be interesting to see how the remaining sort of 12 overs go.
Once again, a short ball well down the leg side. Matiullah getting a bit carried away. That's always been his problem. When he's feeling himself, when he's in good rhythm, he likes to bowl quick, but at the cost of his line and length.
Yeah, and I think this is where slight little bit of an inexperience from Matiullah. Obviously, he's been a regular performer in domestic cricket, and on this level, it's just about staying in the moment, staying relaxed, staying with your game plan, and trying to execute your plans. And obviously, on that particular occasion, he didn't against a very dominant Jennings.
Yeah, very good player. Played a lot of Test cricket for England as well in the recent years. Just couldn't nail down a spot in the side. Oh, this time going for the full ball. Foxed him there perhaps.
Yeah, he did a little bit, and that's a good take from the young keeper behind. Managed to sort of keep that out. So, yeah, I think the wide Yorker was on there, and Keaton Jennings, to be fair, might have just missed out on a wideish full delivery, which I'm sure most batters would have actually wanted.
And of course, this is the first game of the Lancashire pre-season tour, Thunder and Lightning in the UAE. Their first overseas tour after the COVID pandemic. Both men's and women's sides here. This time, ball on the stumps, just a bit of a misfield. They're going to push for 2. Rob Jones has gone, and he's moved quickly there. That's excellent running.
Yeah, and that's game awareness for you from the county boys, from the English lads. You know, the UAE lads have just switched off there for a second, allowing Rob Jones to come back for a second. And Jones is quite a quick athlete, so he would have made that quite comfortably. But again, these are the little fine 1%ers that UAE cricket need to get better if they're going to compete at the big stage.
Absolutely. Their fielding had been absolutely on fire during the recent T20 World Cup qualifiers. Mohammad Wasim, Ahmed Raza were taking absolute blinders in the field. They've set the tone for these younger lads. You can say they're part of the A-team setup. They need to strive for those standards if they are to break into the national side. Worked away towards deepish mid-wicket, only going to get a single. So far they seem content to just rotate the strike.
Yeah, good delivery to Jennings, that just into the leg side. Good length, a little bit of pace off, just allowing Jennings to get single, get out the over very quickly. And that's a good bit of cricket there from Matiullah there, good bit of bowling there.
And he's considered a bit of a Asian conditions specialist, so to speak. Very good against spin. He likes these slower, lower surfaces, and you can see why. Looking very comfortable out there, even though it must have been a fair while since he's been playing cricket. Immediately into the groove.
Yeah, and he's a tall lad, he's a tall, strong lad, so early doors he'll probably want to get closer to the ball. And obviously the way he strikes the ball, his technique, he's quite low in terms of his stance when he's hitting the ball. So yeah, it just adjusts quite well against what could be classed as slow wicket. So yeah.
50 up finally for Lancashire Lightning. It's taken them a fair while, but they have that kind of ability to just flip a switch and can easily pick up another 110 runs in the next 11 overs. 51 for 1 after 9. Well, a change in the bowling then. Mohammad Farazuddin, handy all-rounder, coming into bowl. Bit of off-spin, bit of batting. Excellent fielder. A true 360-degree cricketer, isn't he, Qasim?
A social media dynamite as well. He loves his bit of Instagram, doesn't he, this young man?
Oh, nicely reversed. Short third man giving chase. And he will just about pull it in. It is a heavy outfield. And look at that. Oh, nope. They'll just stick to one. Well, the UAE fielders definitely very enthusiastic. Perhaps too much for their own good.
Yeah, sloppy, I would say, if you're looking at the sense of cricket that they're trying to play. It was a poor throw from the outfield, a poor catch, an attempt from the wicketkeeper. He should have done a lot better there. Obviously, Faraz taken by surprise, but there's no need to throw again from the opposite end.
Once again, trying to reverse this time, just towing it back to the keeper, Aryansh. And Rob Jones, he's definitely not amused, not enjoying the conditions, just not finding his groove.
Yeah, and the timing element is not there for Jonesy. Knowing Jonesy really well, I think he'll take his time with this, but he'll come good sooner or later.
He's picked it up straight and absolutely over the top of the ropes for a maximum. There you go, as Qasim Ali has called it.
Yeah, I called it, but knowing Jonesy really well, I mean, off spinner to a right-handed batsman who's quite strong, playing against spin, using his feet really well. That's bread and butter for young Jonesy.
Yeah, he's going to take a chance there for sure. The matchup, that is the key word going around these days. It's all a game of matchups now. This time hit away hard to mid-wicket. So how do you see the Lancashire side lining up for the Vitality Blast later in the summer, Qasim?
Yeah, they've always been very strong. My home county, I've been there for a while before I came out to UAE. They've always been a strong team, obviously with some big players coming back as well. Butler coming back, Liam Livingston, who's not playing in today's game. These are dynamic players. These are fantastic young players. The likes of Saqib and Parkinson also coming back. They're four excellent players, and I think they'll be very strong. They've been strong every year. Yeah, I think they'll be there or thereabouts.
And of course, they've made a very big headline overseas signing in Hassan Ali of Pakistan. So he's going to be joining them too. So a bowling attack of Luke Wood, Hassan Ali, Saqib Mahmood, Matt Parkinson is very handy indeed. That can take on the best of them at the halfway stage. The Lancashire Lightning are 59 for 1. So the young leggy Aditya Shetty coming on to bowl. He'll be fun to watch. He should enjoy these conditions. Immediately swept away. Fine leg. Not in place. A deep square only, so they'll pick up 2. And there you can see why Keaton Jennings is so good against spin.
Yeah, playing the sweep shot early doors, and that's a great intent from an opening batsman. Just helping it on its way. Kept his composure. Good discipline. Obviously good balance as well, and it'll be a good test for the young Aditya Shetty, obviously another product from ICC Academy, and it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. Knowing Shetty really well, he'll be up for the challenge.
Reverse, beats the point fielder. That's a glorious shot from KJ for 4.
Showing his true class here, his repertoire starting to come out. He went down leg side on his first one, and obviously now he's gone reverse sweep. And I'm sure he's asking a lot of questions from Shetty.
And
Keaton Jennings, his initials.
and you can see he uses that tall frame really well. Gets down low, 40 of 28 now. So he's making up for Rob Jones's slow batting. And immediately he knew Aditya would overcorrect, skipping down the track and picking up a single. That's top quality batting.
Yeah, and it's going to be an interesting challenge for young Aditya here. Obviously fresh from the World Cup under 19s, where I probably like to say he's probably not had his best tournament, although he's obviously competed. But it'll be an interesting challenge here. As well as I know Aditya, he'll be up for this challenge against some of the best players, obviously coming over from England.
Absolutely, a lot of wrist spin talent coming up in the UAE. Karthik Mayappan is a regular with the national side. Oh, googly, look at that. Picked it just in time. Rob Jones could have been very, very close there.
Yeah, and he's disguised that well over the years now, and he's got better and better at it, and it's a good sign from a young spinner from a UAE perspective. Obviously, you've just mentioned Karthik there leading the way from the leg spin option, and I don't think Aditya Shetty is too far behind. A lot of investment going into this young lad.
Absolutely, he's one for the future. Cut away, backward point, bit of a misfield. That will be costly. It's going to cost them 4 runs.
And I think that will be costly on the WhatsApp group later between Aditya and Ali Nasir. 2 culprits there.
Yeah, it was straight to him. Just perhaps spinning away off the turf. But that is certainly poor. Not the start that Aditya Shetty was looking for. But he is an aggressive spinner, as you say. He'll be up for the battle. Already 12 runs off his bowling. Keaton Jennings taking full toll. He's moved on to 45 quite easily. And look at that, just using his feet. He reads the mind of the bowler so well. 11 overs gone, a productive one for the Lightning. 72 for 1. While taking a look at the bowling analysis there, Sultan Ahmed has 1 over up his sleeve. Sanchit and Ali Nasir, the pacers, have 2 each. So it'll be interesting to see what bowling options Alishan Sharafu utilizes here. For now, he's persisting with the off break of Farazuddin. Round the wicket. Just punched down the ground for a single. So looks like Keaton Jennings is just settling in for the long haul.
Yeah, and that's good cricket from Keaton Jennings, just taking one down the ground, giving the right-hander the option to come on against the right-arm off-spinner. Tactically, a strong move there, and it's going to be interesting to see how Faraz holds his nerve against Jonesy, who's already gone down the track against him and hit him straight back down over his head.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have a dip. You're spot on, Qasim. Just remains to be seen whether he can execute. Oh, stepping down, just working it towards mid-wicket. Good recognition by Faraz as well. Dropped his length and bowled it a bit wider.
Yeah, interesting challenge now. Good matchup, as you would like to say. So it's going to be interesting to see what the right-handed off-spinner of Faraz does against these two good, excellent batters against spin, who like to use their feet. Very tactically acute as well. So it'll be an interesting challenge coming up.
Oh, just swiped away towards deepish mid-wicket. Not quite to the pitch of the ball this time. And we've seen so much white ball batting talent coming from the UK, from England these days. Harry Brook, he was absolutely sensational in the PSL. Yorkshire lad, I think the Red Rose fans won't be too pleased to hear that, such as yourself. But what a player he is.
Fantastic young player, obviously coming through. Yorkshire have always been strong, producing good players. But one of the exciting talents of the Red Rose, my home county, is obviously got to be Liam Livingston. He's been very strong over the last couple of years, and obviously a dynamite force in international cricket, and now a big money spender in obviously big purchase in that
Definitely.
IPL auction. So
Need to-
fantastic for him.
Need to get into his ear for a party in Dubai, perhaps. Oh, big appeal this time. Maybe hit outside the line. Farazuddin looks absolutely stunned. He didn't get the finger raised there. But I think it just hit him outside the line here, Qasim.
Yeah, Faraz being quite animated with the LBW decision there, but obviously from Keaton playing a reverse sweep again, trying to get him off his line. But that was quite close. I mean, obviously with the drift coming back into the line of the stumps, it would have been interesting to see that on slow-mo again.
Short, just bunted down the ground there. Mid-off, long off rather. Will move around swiftly. So the spinners not quite keeping a lid on the scoring here. They are leaking runs. 12 overs gone. It's 79 for 1. Lofted down the ground this time. Just falling short of long off. But they will get to, and that will be 50 for Keaton Jennings. Well played.
Yeah, excellent from the left-handed captain there. He's done really well adjusting to this condition of this wicket. And he's played really sensibly.
Just not quite middling it there. Just a push. Aditya immediately adjusting, coming around the wicket to Keaton now. Oh, that kept low. Bunted past wide-ish long on. He'll have to work hard, but he does well. Only picking up one here. So you can see Aditya has changed his bowling. He's bowling a lot quicker and flatter now.
Yeah, he has. But it'll be an interesting to see. Obviously, UAE going in with a variety of left-arm spinners. They've obviously got Shetty on there from a leg spin point of view. Still coming back in to the left-hander, making it easy for him. They've only got Faraz, who's the off-spinner, who could potentially cause a little bit of deviation to the left-hander. But the rest of the right-handers there, that's a googly there and a half-hearted appeal. Good take from the keeper behind.
Massive googly there to Rob Jones. And you can see Aditya has all the variations, all the little tricks up his sleeve. Down the ground this time, lofted, long off. Takes a catch, and Aditya Shetty has got his man. Rob Jones has to depart. Just not quite getting to the pitch of the ball. And that's a brilliant catch at long off. I think it's Sanchit Sharma out there. Very nicely executed. So Rob Jones's sojourn at the crease comes to an end. A handy partnership, but he would feel that he played a touch slow there.
Yeah, and I think he'll probably be a little bit disappointed having quite a slow start, just starting to motor, and that's one of his...
So Luke Wells, the new batter, coming in at 4. Another left-hander joining the skipper at the crease. So once again, the matchups, as we like to say, Qasim, is going to be a bit of a problem for young Aditya here. But he has produced a wicket for Alishan Sharfu. Good catch taken and long off. That was travelling, but he adjusted very nicely indeed. You just can't keep him out of the game. He's that kind of a bowler. Aditya Shetty, a lot of high hopes, a lot of promise. 82 for 2 is the score in the 13th over. Just worked into that mid-wicket region. They're pushing for 2. Oh, Keaton Jennings was interested, but Luke Wells erring on the side of safety. Had to hit the brakes there, the skipper of Lancashire. So although he has been a bit expensive, Aditya, but he has produced a wicket for his captain.
Yeah, broke a good partnership up there. Obviously, a nice flighted delivery there. Aditya will be very happy with that wicket of Rob Jones. And there was a good, smart catch out in the deep.
Pushing for 2 this time. Immediately turn and go. And they've completed it very nicely. Bit of an aggressive throw out there. Well, it's all fun and games with these lads. 13 overs gone, 85 for 2.
It doesn't get better than this. Oh, that's unbelievable. That is utterly incredible.
Back after the break as Lancashire Lightning look to get going. Get a bigger score, maybe 150, 160. Luke Wells immediately swiping that towards mid-wicket, pushing for 2. They'll pick it up quite easily here. What can you tell us about Luke Wells, Qasim?
Good strong batter. Obviously came after my time with Lancashire, but good strong batter, left-handed, hard striker of the ball. Plays some good quality cricket in both formats. So yeah, very impressive. Good technique as well. And it'll be interesting to see how he sort of dominates.
Hard hit down the ground, long off. Just falling short, just falling short. That was travelling, hurtling towards him rather. And immediately, you're absolutely right. He's a big unit. And I think the game plan is pretty clear for him. Go after the bowling.
Yeah, and it shows just straight away there's some intent from Luke Wells there to try and get after the bowler.
Keaton, meanwhile, just working the ball into the gap at mid-wicket. So Farazuddin, he is being counter-attacked here. Excellent fielding of his own bowling. Keaton Jennings, 54 off 38. So it'll be interesting. Does he just anchor down and let Luke Wells swing for the fences, or will they reverse roles? Backing away, lofted towards long on. And he's taken the catch, and the star man is out. Mohammad Farazuddin does the business.
And another celebration for social media there for young Faraz.
Yeah, just sitting in on the pitch there, bowled it slower, turned away from the bat. And a good catch. Oh, that's a brilliant catch taken at long on. Fabulous effort by young Fahad Nawaz. Or it was Ali Nasir rather, pardon me. 89 for 3, Lancashire Lightning. So new batter coming in is George Lavelle. Bit of a contrast to Luke Wells. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, and an exciting prospect for Lancashire is young Lavelle, a wicketkeeper batsman, but a strong batter. He's technically very good, very correct, and a future prospect in terms of wicketkeeping for Lancashire. Coming up through my time at Lancashire, and an excellent young human being, a very good person, very polite person as well. So good characteristics.
Well, we have so many promising wicketkeeper batters coming in from England these days. They could easily have a lineup of 1 to 7. The likes of Phil Salt, Johnny Bairstow, Josh Butler, Sam Billings, George Lavelle in the future. Hard cut to that deep cover fielder. Only going to be one. So Farazuddin, although he's been counter-attacked, he has produced a wicket. Bowling within himself today, except when he's celebrating.
Yeah, animation celebrations, but just bowling within himself. Just trying to take the pace off a little bit on this wicket. Obviously doing a little bit to the different types of variations. It's just starting to spin a little bit. Just signs of spin there, but quite clever change-ups there from Faraz.
Yeah, slowing it up, telling the batters to put power on the ball. Nicely bowled. Plays a dot ball to conclude the 14th over, 90 for 3. Aditya Shetty to continue. Oh, struck on the pad. Bit of a stifled appeal, but definitely turning down leg. So he's responded quite well after being counter-attacked in his initial over. Went for 14, I believe. So 6 overs to go. What do you think would be a good target to set for the UAE lads here, Qasim?
I think if the Lanky boys can get over sort of 150, they'll be targeting at 150, 160 mark. From here onwards, 6 overs, maybe go 10 and over if they can. That'd be an interesting point to get to 150.
And of course, Lancashire, such a famous county. So many historic names. Clive Lloyd, Wasim Akram, Mike Atherton, Neil Fairbrother, Liam Livingstone, James Anderson, Qasim Ali. A lot of celebrated names that have represented the Red Rose. And of course, George Lavelle could be an exciting name for the future as well.
Thanks for that. Love to be part of that lineup. You forgot one of the greatest, which is Andrew Flintoff.
Absolutely, Big Freddie, the Lancashire legend. Oh, big googly once again. Watched it closely there, George.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how Lavelle approaches this now compared to obviously Jennings, who's quite settled at the crease.
Yeah, does need to get a move on here. It does so, just skipping down the track, bunting it to long on for a single. That's the one thing you cannot do in white ball cricket, play dot balls. Get Keaton Jennings on strike, who's seeing the ball beautifully and striking it quite nicely as well.
Be interesting to see that 150-60 mark might all depend on how long Jennings stays there, I reckon.
Yeah, free flowing player. Oh, splice this time. Just work towards deep mid wicket. So Aditya Shetty has held his own here in this battle with Keaton. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely, and knowing Aditya really well, he's obviously up for this challenge, and he's done really well against left-handed of Jennings. He's used his googly really well, good pace, good turn off the wicket, and good field placements, obviously not to go out for an expensive over.
And of course, this is just the first game of their pre-match tour. Oh, leading edge over Aditya Shetty. If he had about 5 to 6 inches in height, he'd be in business. George Lavelle not looking comfortable against spin. As I was mentioning, this is just the first tour game of the pre-match tour, so still a bit rusty, still perhaps a bit jet lag, although the lads were having a spot of golf yesterday, so they were perfectly up for that. Wonderful sights here at the Sevens Cricket Stadium, Oval number 1. If you want to take a look at some high-class cricket, come in, enjoy the surroundings. Meanwhile, this is the bowling analysis. They still have 1 over left for Sultan. Sanchit and Ali Nasir, the seamers, and even Matiullah have plenty of overs up their sleeve. So Alishan Sharfu has plenty of options to turn to, but he's persisting with Farazuddin for now. Oh, hit over the top towards that deep cover fielder. He will clean up. Just couldn't find that extra cover gap though, George Lavelle there.
Yeah, good use of the feet. Interesting to see if he could have just got that over extra cover, that would have been 1 bounce 4. He's managed to find the fielder out there. And this will be the interesting matchup now, is whether the left hand of Jennings can take on the right hand off spinner.
Oh, the reverse is out. Beyond the keeper. Don't think he has the legs to go for 4. They're pushing for 3. Oh, that's excellent fielding. Saved a run there for his side.
Yeah, it's good cleaning up from young Ayan on the boundary there. That's a good effort from young man.
Well, what a fabulous under-19 World Cup he had. It was really his force of will that took the UAE under-19 side to that plate trophy. Reversed a bit too straight there. Wanted to go behind point. So Keaton Jennings is really peppering the entire offside, or leg side rather, with his reverse sweeps. Farazuddin, this has been an excellent spell. Only 22 runs conceded, but I think they're hunting for some runs against him. Another reverse, this time a leading edge, going to extra cover.
Not quite timed these reverse sweeps of the, and it just goes to show that how difficult it is. Obviously, first game out for the Lancashire boys, but a competitive, trying to get up to a competitive score. It's not easy coming on a wicket that they've not really played on or prepped on.
Down the ground this time. No, it's been sliced to backward point. And I think it's gone down, has it? Yes, it has. 2 fielders converging towards the ball. And I think it just did not carry, did it? Let's take a look here. Yeah, fell short there.
Yeah, just falling short of Ayan Khan there, who's just running in to close the gap.
This time once again, turn squirted away to mid-wicket. So there is definitely something out there for the spinners. Like you mentioned, Tom Hartley should be in business on this track. 100 up for Lightning. Meanwhile, it's taken a fair while.
Yeah, it has. And it just goes to show it's not easy on these sort of wickets. And I'm sure the Lightning from here would like to kick on. Probably get 40, 50 runs in the last 4 overs if they can. But it's not easy against the spin. It'll be interesting to see who UAE bring on to finish off the last 4 overs.
So change in the bowling then. Sultan Ahmed coming into the attack. Aditya Shetty has been relieved. Look at that spell. Only 8 runs conceded in his first 3 overs. Those 2 in the batting power play. So that's why Lancashire Lightning have been going uphill since then, even though they have a set opener out there. Hit in the air. Just beyond that point fielder. They will pick up 2. It's a very, very big square out there. Very lucky he didn't find that backward point fielder.
Yeah, Sultan will want to just finish his 4th over off here quite comfortably. Obviously, 8 for 1 off his 3 overs so far. It'll be interesting to see how he just finishes off this last over.
Stepping out edge past the keeper. Third man in the circle, and he has no chance. So if you're going to slash hard, Qasim.
Absolutely, and a rather distraught Sultan there. He's been a little bit unlucky there, but not a lot you can do with a big, hard, flashy edge going for 4 runs.
Well, you could have had a slip in there, Alishan Sharfu. That will hurt his figures for a bit. This time the arm ball just worked away to square leg for a single. Yep, just one. No chance of 2 there. So at least George Lavelle, he got that early boundary. So he'll feel a lot better about himself.
Yeah, and I think a good chance for him to showcase his skills in this last 4 overs. Obviously with Lancashire trying to kick on towards that 150 mark if they can.
Yeah, 3.5 overs to go. That's about 42 runs away. Well within their reach if this man on screen gets going. 62 of 46 has played a very good hand, and I think the UAE boys will need to replicate his kind of innings in the top order. Oh, bunted, what a catch! Sultan Ahmed takes an absolute stunner.
Wowzers, wowzers, wowzers. Look at Sultan flying for that catch. He's probably more surprised than the batsman that it's stuck, but that was a fantastic bit of athleticism and a great catch there from Sultan.
Brilliant effort there. Caught and bowled. A one-hander, a screamer. And that was the only way they were going to get Keaton Jennings out tonight. Gone for 62. Well, George Bell is the new batter coming in. Bell and Lavelle. Looks a very, very young lad indeed, Qasim.
Yeah, he is.
The Red Rose bringing out all the academy lads. What a experience this must be for them. Their first pre-season tour since the COVID pandemic took over the world. And it's the first time in history that both the men's and women's sides are touring. So a wonderful endeavour here by Lancashire Cricket Club. Lancashire County rather. Need to get that right. We have a Red Rose right to my left. He'll take issue with that.
The thunder and lightning striking in the desert, as they say.
Absolutely. We could use some, considering it's about 40 odd degrees outside. 108 for 4.
Yes, you're very right about George Lavelle. Young lad, just signed professional contract with Lancashire. A very proud parent. Obviously, I know the family really well, having worked with young George Lavelle and George Bell early doors in my time at Lancashire. But he's just been fresh off the Under-19 World Cup with England. So he would have known some of the UAE lads really well.
Absolutely. They played a group match against each other. Tom Prest playing a fabulous innings in that game. Quicker arm ball, so Sultan Ahmed showing his experience. Oh, misfield. That'll cost him an extra run. He'll be miffed with that. But 18 for 2 in his 4 overs. That's a very, very handy spell indeed. 17 overs gone. Nelson on the board.
We can just go forever. Take me where the weather's cool. When we
Well, it's going to be some serious pace coming on now. Matiullah Khan coming in. And he has this tendency to get hammered for runs, so he has to be careful here. He's bowled well so far, 2 overs done for 12. But he can get derailed quite quickly, can't he, Qasim?
Yeah, he can, and this is the back end of the game, so anything can really happen, especially with pace coming on. He's got to be very skillful in his deliveries and execute his plans really well, especially them variations on this pitch.
Oh, edged away this time. There is a third man in place who will clean up. So, young George Bell, he's made his intentions clear. He's not worried about the pace.
No, he's not, and he's probably want to settle some nerves and also make sure that he's putting on a good show for the selectors as well. But it's quite important for him to finish off the game really well and obviously contribute towards the side.
Well, what an opportunity it is for young lads in their late teens, early 20s, going on a pre-season tour to Dubai in their formative years. Such a valuable experience. Pumped hard down the ground, mid-off in the circle, they will pick up one. And he's already been to the Caribbean with the under-19 side. Now he's playing in the UAE. Wonderful development program of Lancashire cricket, and they deserve a lot of credit.
Yeah, and I've been prone to that sort of setup for a long time now, and the quality work that's happening at Lancashire is a testimony to everybody involved there. You know, Daniel Gidney, who's the main man in charge, he's got a great vision for these boys, backed up with a great set of staff there, and the people working there and the players executing and performing on the pitch is something to be very proud about, but also be very well connected to with the whole of the Lancashire contingency.
Absolutely, it builds roots within the communities when your local lads make it to senior level, and when you're being coached by a legend like Glenn Chappell, there's no other way but to be inspired by what that man has achieved in county cricket and for Lancashire.
Yeah, Chappie, born and bred Lancastrian, he's done really well. He's done really well as a player, but also as a head coach.
And tell you what, a paddle attempted there. Oh, a bit of a leading edge. So George Bell, he's absolutely fearless. He's bringing out all the shots.
Yeah, and sometimes these young lads are. I mean, it's good to see. You know, he's come on and cracked on with it, and he's probably just settled his nerves, and he's going to try and bring all his shots out now to just help the score on towards the back end of the game now.
So I think we're looking about a 140 score here, perhaps. A lot of interested viewers there.
Yeah, and that's Mr. Gidney there in the just at the end of the table there with the sunglasses on. A fantastic individual, great visionary man for Lancashire, and really believes in what he's trying to do in terms of the business, both on the players and obviously with the rest of the team in the offices. So, fantastic individual.
Absolutely, it takes a lot of effort behind the scenes. You can see the coaching staff keeping an eye on proceedings, even though it's absolutely boiling out there.
That's young Glenn Chappell there, hiding away.
The red rocket turned a bit grey there. Oh, slow delivery, chopped on, but just missing the stumps there. Lucky there, young George. Back of the hand stuff from Matiullah, so he's being sensible out there, not trying to overpower the batter, and using his variations to good effect.
That's smart cricket there. Smart cricket from the back of the hand. Good execution there. And it just goes to show his quality in the back end of the game. Smart.
Yeah, only conceding single so far. Picked up, slogged towards a long on. He will clean up. They're going to push for 2, but they'll stick to 1. So it's been a pretty good over here from Matiullah. 18 overs gone, 117 for 4. So Sanchit Sharma coming in to bowl one at the death. Had a decent outing in the power play. Only 13 runs conceded. George Bell going to be on strike. The two Georges, Bell and Lavelle. Oh, this has been slogged up in the air. Falling short of that long on once again. And they're only going to take one. Good aggressive fielding there.
Yeah, good change-up and good variations from Sanchit there. Fantastic to see straight away. Again, good execution. That's what we want to see from the young fast bowlers. Back end of the game, can they have a different game plan against what they're doing in the power play? And that's good to see straight away from the young seamer.
Well, we do know that Qasim Ali's heart bleeds for the Red Rose, but he has trained a lot of these under 19 lads, UAE lads. This has been scooped over the keeper. Excellent execution. They will pick up two here. So he has biases on both sides. I won't put him on the spot and say who he's rooting for.
Rooting for cricket.
Cricket is the real winner. Very diplomatic of Mr. Qasim Ali indeed. And that man, number 7, well, he'll be a key player in that UAE batting lineup. Alishan Sherpu, been touring and been in and out of the UAE senior side. Under 19 captain in the recent event, dragged away towards mid-wicket. There is a sweeper out there. It's a big square, but they'll only pick up one.
Yeah, Fahad doing the sweeping and the boundary lines there. It's important to get the best fielders in the right place, and Fahad being one of the top fielders inside, obviously being in the right action zone area. It'll be interesting to see how these guys finish off. Obviously to try and get up to that 150. I think they need to sort of reevaluate and try and get up to 135, 140 if they can.
Yeah, 140 feels like a competitive score. Hard hit down the ground, long off. Will clean it up, and they'll just get one. Excellent outfielding once again. That's brilliant.
Yeah, good to see from the UAE boys there in terms of the fielding in the power play area, power play overs, but also now in the back end of the game, in the action end of the game, they've actually really held up the nerve.
Indeed, their death overs execution has been spot on. They haven't been greedy, started to look for wickets, haven't bowled anything in the slot or any full tosses. Once again, slower bouncer, nicely bowled into the pitch. They're only going to pick up two. Chance for a run out? No, just makes it in time. The two Georges, they're too quick between the wickets.
Yeah, two very quick lads. So it's interesting to see how quickly these guys are motoring on, but fantastic from the two individuals.
And of course, earlier in the day, we saw the women's side, Lancashire Thunder, playing a final over thriller with the UAE women's side. And that same pitch hasn't changed a lot in nature, but it's definitely just dried up and perhaps become easier for batting later on in the day. Early in the morning, it was quite slow and turning. Oh, a touch wide there. Yep, rightly given. Arms extended. So Sanchit, he only has one delivery to go in his day. He needs to get out of here quickly.
That's a bit unfortunate there from young Sanchit there, but good awareness, good opportunity to bring that in, slow ball a little bit wider. Just unfortunately a little bit wider than what he expected. Otherwise it would have been a really good delivery to finish off.
And of course the new MCC rules state that the wide will be adjudged by the position of the batter, not the tram lines necessarily. Swiped away towards mid-wicket once again. They will pick up two. Did find the gap a bit there. 6 balls to go. It's 127 for 4.
There is a bit of swagger and excitement. Now this crowd has started to liven up. Subtle changes in pace. This is absolutely spectacular. And from nowhere, full stretch. Absolutely stunning. Look at his face. It doesn't get better than this. Oh, that's unbelievable. That is utterly incredible.
Right, then the final over coming up in the innings for the Lightning. Can they make it a big one? George Bell on strike. Matiullah to bowl the final over. Oh, quick, pacey delivery. Beat him for genuine pace there, Matiullah. Having a look at the leg umpire, but I think it's fine. Well executed bouncer.
Yeah, that was good change up in Matiola's first delivery there. Obviously interesting from the two keepers' perspective, Lavelle and Bell, Lancashire young prospect keepers. It'll be interesting to see what they can do, obviously in this final over, to see if they can get them over the line towards 135 if they can, maybe 138 if we're lucky.
Yeah, I think we'll have a very competitive game if they can get up to 140. The paddle comes out once again, and this time he's nailed it. One bounce over the ropes for 4.
Good execution from the young man. Pace on, was going to go full. I think he's overdone the delivery, but that's a great bit of execution from the young keeper.
Yeah, he telegraphed his intentions there. He'd used his bouncer already. So young George Bell knew it's a fuller ball coming up. And just an added bonus of a full toss. Vital boundary picked up, 4 deliveries to go. They're into the 130s. A flurry here could make this game very, very interesting indeed. Matiola under pressure to execute. Goes length, and this time paddled once again. Past the fine leg, and it will scurry away for yet another boundary. It was the slower ball this time. George Bell repeated the shot, and the fine leg fielder. Big lumbering effort there. It's Aryan Lakra, I believe. Yes, it is. He'll be disappointed with that, Qasim.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. Obviously pride's on his fielding there, but when the moments count, you've got to take these catches, and obviously that was quite an interesting moment there.
So now they've picked up the pace. George Bell, 14 off 10. Took him a bit of time to get used to the pitch, but now he's looking good.
And in the context of the game, obviously 2 fours in the last over. A little bit of pressure now from the batsman's perspective.
Trying to reverse it. Oh, it slipped through the keeper. They'll pick up buys. And they're running for 2. I think he's made it, but it will be touch and go. So not just 1, but 2 buys in fact. The UAE are letting it slip in the final over.
A little bit sloppy there from the keeper, who I think could have done better with that. That's quite a simple regulation take. He should be doing a lot better.
Well, the biggest error he did there was not chase after the ball. Good recognition by young George Lavelle, scampering through for the second, egging on his partner. And that's a run stolen there, to be quite honest. 2 deliveries to go in the innings. The Lightning are striking hard here. Once again going for that reverse. He does love that shot. Having a peer at the umpire, but I think he's well within his right not to give that as a wide.
Asking the question is a young man, isn't he? He was slightly outside the lines. But again, opting to go for that shot behind square. But that's clever, smart bowling from Matiola. That's a good change-up.
Taking the cue from Farazuddin. If you want to appeal for something, go all out to ask for it. Final delivery of the innings then for the Lightning. Full, straight, driven hard down the ground. They'll only pick up 1, and they will conclude on 138. And my co-commentator Qasim Ali has a big grin on his face because he called it spot on.
I should play the lottery, shouldn't I?
So a good effort here by the 2 Georges, Bell and Lavelle. But it was Keaton Jennings with a fabulous innings of 62 right up top. Rob Jones hung around for a while, but then a flurry of wickets going down. But in the end, I think they'll feel they would have liked another 12 runs to the name. But 138 is definitely a fighting score, if nothing else, Qasim.
Yeah, very impressive from Lancashire. Obviously, first option to go out. Good chance to get the boys out on the first game, and we gotta make sure that the boys have done really well there in the sense of getting to 138. Fantastic little bit of performance from the 2 keepers at the back end of the game, obviously helping Lancashire to get up to 138. It'll be interesting to see how these guys sort of defend this. Obviously, the pitch is getting lower. There's a bit more turn on. It'll be interesting to see how the clever bowlers from Lancashire look to develop.
62 of 47 there for Keaton Jennings. Josh Bohannon could not get going. Only 4 runs to his name. Rob Jones hung around for a fair while, 21 of 30. Luke Wells couldn't get going, but then the two young Georges, Lavelle and Bell, combining for some quick runs. Only 9 extras conceded there. So they've done a fairly good job there, the UAE lads.
Yeah, they have. They've stuck to the plan really well. Quite impressed in the middle overs there. They've controlled the game a little bit more in the middle overs. Good execution at the back end of the game. The death bowling, the good variations. Interesting signs there from the UAE in terms of their plans. It's now over to the batters.
Taking a look at the bowling analysis then. Sultan Ahmed, 2 for 18, was absolutely brilliant. Sanchit Sharma did well, none for 23. Ali Nasir, only the 2 overs to his name, none for 16. Matiullah did a relatively good job, considering he was bowling at the death as well. Mohammad Farazuddin and Aditya Shetty with 1 wicket each to the name as well. So certainly a wicket for the spinners, as Qasim Ali had stated earlier. Let's take a look at the highlights here then. Genuine outside edge from Keaton Jennings, running away for 4 early on in the piece. But then those reverse sweeps and all kinds of shots came out. That was a big appeal, not given. Matiullah Khan this time just bunted away over the point fielder. Not sure what he was planning to do there. Third man doing a decent enough job cleaning up. It was all the Keaton Jennings show for the most part. 62 runs right at up top. He looked like a duck to water in these dry spinning pitches of the UAE. Farazuddin came in and was immediately belted down the ground by Rob Jones for 6. But he did eventually have the last laugh. Aditya Shetty as well came in for some punishment, thanks to Keaton Jennings' excellent execution of that reverse sweep there, finding the gap between point and third man, showing all of his tricks there. That googly, the top spinner. This was a lovely cut shot. Misfield at backward point. Definitely not what Aditya would have liked to see. Went for 14 runs in his first over, but then came up quite nicely. This was a big appeal from Farazuddin, but I do feel it was striking him outside the line. And then eventually Rob Jones playing 1 shot too many. And take a look at this catch. Very nicely done at long off by Sanchit Sharma. All-rounder in the truest sense of the word. Luke Wells came in and departed quickly. Nice catch taken at long on once again. The fielding standards of the UAE lads has been very top-notch. And take a look at this. Absolutely brilliant. The old-timer Sultan Ahmed taking the catch of the day so far to dismiss Keaton Jennings. And then it was young George Bell producing some fancy footwork, some innovative shots, picking up a flurry of late boundaries. This one could have been a half chance for a catch. Aryan just couldn't get there, and in the end it trickled away for 4. So all said and done, Lancashire Lightning concluded their first 20 overs innings at 138 runs for the loss of 4 wickets. A par score, but I think they'll definitely need to fight hard to defend it. Right then, let's go to Abid Ibrahim, who's on the sideline for a special interview. Over to you, Abid.
Well, I've got very important 2 personalities, Aditya Shetty along with Rob Jones. Both these very interesting. We had to see Aditya got Rob Jones in the middle when they were batting and bowling together. It was a brilliant battle between you two. Tell us, Aditya, you were having some plans against Rob?
Nothing in general against him, but my plan was to bowl slightly slower and limit their scoring areas. So if they could hit just one part of the ground, I was trying to do that and bowl at the stumps as much as possible.
There was assist from the wicket that you were getting, you were expecting?
Yeah, it was slightly slow and there was a bit of turn. So I was getting some purchase from the wicket, a bit of turn in the wicket.
How much that wicket counts in your category of the batsman you got Rob Jones out?
I mean, I count every wicket as the same because, yeah, I mean, it's obviously good to get wickets, but yeah, I count every wicket equally.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. Well done there, Aditya. You have done a decent job. That googly was best delivery that I've seen out. Unlike you didn't get wicket on that one, but then you got wickets today, more importantly.
Thank you.
Well, coming to you, how hard it was to adopt the conditions and then seeing a leggy who's bowling the googlies and the leg spin. Did you expect that kind of a quality here?
Yeah, obviously he's a great bowler. Obviously he bowled it slightly slower and the wicket did help him, so it's just holding up in the pitch a little bit. But like you say, if he tossed it up a little bit, I was going to come down the wicket. It's all about picking length, I think. So if he dropped it short, I'd try and rock back and pull it. But like you say, the pitch helped him there a little bit, and obviously he got me out, which is a bit annoying, but that's okay. But yeah, he bowled really well, bowled beautifully, and bowled slightly slower, which was suited him on that pitch. So well done.
So you'll give the credit to the bowler of the wicket to get you out.
Well, it was slightly soft. I didn't quite get it out the middle. I wish I did, but no, all credit to him. He got me out, so well done. Yeah.
You all looked under pressure when you were not getting those runs, and there was a middle patches where you were struggling and you were trying to play scoop shots. A lot of things you was trying. Was there a pressure or difficult to bat on the surface?
Not really. It's our first game. We've had 6 months indoors back home, so yeah, it's only a friendly. So I was just trying to get out there and just hit some balls, really. Obviously, I did struggle early on, just tried to get used to the pace of the pitch, but I'm not too worried. Obviously, it's our first run out, so like I say, I'm sure we'll get better throughout the trip. It was slightly slow, the wicket, so it was a bit difficult to score, so I'm not too worried. So yeah, but I enjoyed the battle anyway, and it was good fun, so it's nice to be outside.
Yeah, just remember his jersey number. The next time you go and against him, go hit him big. This time you middle this.
Yeah, absolutely, I'll try.
Thank you so much, guys. You guys can go back, and I'd love to have a conversation with you. Do well, guys. Thank you. It's back to you guys. A lovely conversation with these two youngsters.
Well, entertaining stuff there from Abid Ibrahim. So the news from the centre is that UAE are chasing 139 in their allotted 20 overs. We'll take a short break and be right back for the run chase. Stay tuned.
This is absolutely spectacular. And from nowhere, full stretch. Absolutely stunning.
Look at his face.
It doesn't get better than this. Oh, that's unbelievable. That is utterly incredible. Spectacular. And from nowhere.
Full stretch. Absolutely stunning.
Look at his face.
It doesn't get better than this.
Oh, that's unbelievable. That is utterly incredible.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Sevens Stadium Cricket Oval number 1, where we have Lancashire Lightning taking on the UAE national team. Of course, Lancashire are here for a pre-season tour with the men's and women's sides, the Lancashire Lightning and the Lancashire Thunder. And news from the centre is that Lancashire Lightning, having batted first after winning the toss, have posted a score of 138 and they're allotted 20 overs. So it's over to the UAE batters to hunt this down. And hunting down this match in the com box with me is Abid Ibrahim. Good afternoon, Abid.
Good afternoon, Ahmed. I'm loving this every part of this game. I mean, it's a really interesting contest where we see the young UAE team players getting a perfect opportunity to be against the world-class Lancashire team, the Lightning. And they have also starting their season. It's just a pre-season. They have come out to this beautiful city, Dubai, for the tours, back-to-back clashes we have. Today we saw the women's earlier in the day, and tomorrow again we'll see the women's also playing. So a lot of actions there and very good outings. So the two batters for the UAE is Farid Ghulam along with Aryan Lakra, who's right hand and left hand combination there will be in the middle. Zawar Farid will be the on strike, the facing.
So it's Jack Morley who's going to be opening the bowling here for Lancashire Lightning. Zawar Farid and Aryan, as you mentioned, the opening pair. Bit of an unorthodox opening pair, but it'll be interesting to see their progress. And immediately hitting the bat hard. They're getting some extra bounce. Young Morley.
Hey, it's been a trend that the left armers usually, nowadays the spinners, start the proceedings. We see that now Morley is also straight away into the action. That goes and taken the aerial route. There's no fielder, even though there was one, would not be helping. That gone, sailing, 6 runs.
Well, Zawar Farid, he's made his intentions absolutely clear. Flighted delivery tempted him, and excellent execution. Look at that follow through, sailing away for 6.
Well, he saw that the ball was into his arc, really. This time he tries to play a cut shot. Couldn't middle it. Didn't time it well, but he got that 6 runs. Will give him that extra confidence that he's been looking. I think all these players are not taking even this friendly game slightly. Onto the pads. This time afflicted towards the onside. This crumple, only a single. They'll settle with the left-hander. Aryan Lakra will come on strike.
Yeah, the UAE lads have a point to prove. Been working very hard in those special training camps. Even Zawar Farid and Alishan Sharfu were part of the senior setup as they created history qualifying for the T20 World Cup 2022. Incredible achievement. It's taken a lot of hard work behind the scenes, and now they get to compete with a high quality Lancashire side. Bit of a leading edge there, Aryan. Has to be careful.
Yeah, Murali is known for these kind of deliveries. We have seen that. Apart from that six, that was a good shot, not a poor delivery. And since then, he's just bowled on target. Was hunting for wickets. Couldn't get one. End of the over, number one gone. 7 for none. So this is a upcoming batsman that will be coming for UAE. There is lots of talented batsmen in UAE team. We've seen Ali Shan to come, Aryansh, Fahad Nawaz, Ansh Tandon, Ali Nasir, Sultan Ahmed, Mohammad Farazuddin, Aditya Shetty, Yashwant Waltappa. Plenty of batsmen there.
Absolutely. A power-packed A side, you can call it, for the UAE. As the senior lads are still busy in the World Cricket League competition. This man was part of that squad that toured Oman and created history. Zawar Farid. Taking a look at the bowling options for Lancashire Lightning.
Brotherwick straight away bowled. Excellent delivery. To start there was a bit of a skid, a new ball to skid on. Was really asking the batsman a lot of question there, that delivery.
Jack Blatherwick, the bowler, coming in. Has a strong action. Hits the deck hard. And definitely Zawar Farid will need to be careful. The slip in place as well. Just trying to attack in that off-stump channel.
He's got nice and balanced action. He's tall. Brings that slightly into the right-handers as well. So smooth action. Good healthy pace.
Yeah, he looks an exciting prospect, Jack Blatherwick. And Aryan Lakra, he tends to have a poke outside his off-stump. Will need to be careful. Get his feet moving early. They've taken the slip out now for Blatherwick. I would have persisted with it if I was the captain. Just bunted away behind point. So Aryan will get off the mark. Will they push for two? No, they'll just stick to one.
Well, I would agree with you, Madhab, in sort of looking at the left hand batsman, whereas Blatherwick is slightly shaping away from the left-handers. It's not a bad idea to have a slip in, especially with the new ball in proceedings.
We saw Matiullah Khan, who hit the deck hard, was creating some problems out there for the batters. Let's see if Jack Blatherwick can replicate that.
Oh, that was the delivery. Yeah, acknowledges Zawar there to a good delivery. Look at that. It was a ripper. Excellent delivery.
Yeah, aggressive fast bowler, always exciting. No matter how slow the pitch, if you can be quick through the air, you'll trouble the best.
Indeed, these are not the fastest pitch that you have around. It's just dry conditions, a bit of slow wicket. Again, bowled it onto the pads.
Yeah, this is good bowling. Examining the middle of the track. Puts a lot of shoulder on the ball. Bowls a heavy ball, so to speak. And he's causing some discomfort for Zawar Farid here.
Definitely, both the bowlers is used to conditions back in UK, and the batter is used to conditions of, oh, this one upish. Didn't middle it, but that will go all the way, maybe, yeah? That just falls short from the boundary. But look at that. That just went almost for a 6.
Well, using the pace against the bowler this time. Short, quick, bumper. Genuine top edge. You can say he meant that shot, but perhaps not in that direction, but they all count. Boundary to conclude. A very spicy over there from young Jack Blatherwick. 13 for no loss after 2. So immediately another bowling change here then. Danny Lamb coming into the attack. Medium pacer. Fast medium rather. So Aryan Lakra, who's been watching the show from the other end. On the pad, stifled appeal. Zawar Fareed was interested, but certainly not a single there.
Well, yeah, Zawar Fareed, I reckon, need to be careful. He need to come to back into his crease quickly, because these Lightning players will not give you any chance. They see you hanging around in the garden. You might end up walking out into the pavilion. Oh, that's a no ball given. A free hit will follow. A relief for Aryan Lakra.
Well, Danny Lamb, that's poor. You're only defending a score of 138. You don't want to be giving extras away, let alone no balls for free hits, but an opportunity for young Aryan to get going.
Yeah, definitely Aryan must be looking that slower delivery. Yeah, the slower one. Full toss. Smashed. It finds the fielder in the deep. Only single will be given.
Well, yeah, it's a big boundary on the square leg, deep cover region. Not quite catching it off the middle of the blade. He does like to play that shot though, Abid.
Yeah, he loves his very strong zone. He's very comfortable to play on the onside, especially at square leg region. And the ball was asking for the punishment, but somehow that is probably the longest part of the boundary. Stepping it out. And what a brilliant piece of fielding that is.
Yeah, saved at least a couple of runs there. The mid-wicket fielder. You need to back up your bowlers in the batting power play, especially when you're defending a middling score of 138. Zawar Fareed, he's gotten off to a start. A boundary and a 6 to his name already, but he was definitely troubled by the short stuff. Will Danny Lamb try to replicate what Blatherwick was doing?
Stepping out, it was a slower delivery. So the batsman using his feet changed the pace. A very good variety there. Keeping batsman guessing there, Danny. Excellent job with the ball.
Of course, a left-hand, right-hand combination will trouble the bowler in adjusting his lines. Let's see if he can respond. Nicely driven away. Straight to the cover fielder though for a dot ball.
Well, we've seen that the player from Lancashire Lightning was struggling there a bit in the initial. They need to get settled. So the similar things continues for the UAE players. The batsmen need to take their time. You can't just go and start playing your shot straight away. This one is lofted in the air. Going miles into the air and just full shot of the boundary for 4 runs.
Well, brilliant pickup shot there from Aryan. It was in the slot and he took his chance expertly there. Very nicely done over mid-on, and that will give him a lot of confidence. That's a top shot. Just in the slot there, recognized it, and look at that head position. Brilliant. So another bowling change here. It's George Boulderston rather. Another Pace bowler pulled away by Zawar. Not in complete control, but you can see there's a definite plan here to bowl some short stuff at Zawar Farid.
Well, I think Keith Jennings is so the batsman struggling against the Shortland deliveries that was earlier bowled by Bletherwick. So he's trying his seamers, giving them a chance. So he's sticking with the seamers. I think he's in a hunt of a wicket. Aryan Lakra, meanwhile, yeah, that's you got to give a respect to the good deliveries coming your way. Aryan, we've seen got 4 runs of the first the previous last delivery that he faced. He middled the bowl. You need to do that. Continue doing middling the bowl. Once you start getting the ball into the middle of the bat, then only once you get the confidence you can go play your shots. Yeah, we were talking about this. He likes to play in that region. He does continue, gets 4 runs.
While he doesn't quite have the pace there, George Boulderston to bowl that line. Aryan just sitting on the back foot, waiting for it. And that's brilliantly spanked away over deep mid wicket for 4.
There was immediately apologies from the bowler. Knew it that he bowled a bit of easy delivery to pick.
So both batters with boundaries to their names. Moving into double figures. Good contest. Quick single taken. Oh, bit of confusion there. Zawar Farid allowing the bowler to go through. Very gentlemanly of him. In the past, he would have shouldered you if Abid was the bowler.
No, just turn this game from friendly to a tournament. You would see Zawar Farid different batsman.
Well, I think he wouldn't try to run into Jack Blatherwick. He's a big lad with some serious pace, serious wheels.
Yeah, he connects it, passes the keeper, and gets 4 runs. Scoop shot. I don't see Zawar Farid playing those kind of shots every day, but yeah, it's very innovative batsman he's.
Well, he saw what young George Bell was doing to his fast bowler. So he's like, let me have a dip as well. Nicely executed scoop. Got enough bat on it for it to just trickle away for 4. Nicely executed.
You saw Rob Jones was trying to do these in many occasions when he was under pressure. He was not getting runs. Oh, this one is played towards the onside. Finds the man in the deep. So there will be 2 more power play overs to come. So the 4 overs gone, 31 for none.
So a change of ends for Blatherwick here. Let's see what he can produce from this end. Oh, inside edge. Past the keeper. Fine leg is giving chase. But they have to give up the ghost. 4 runs.
Yeah, much needed boundary there. That was freebies, a loose delivery. Just stepped out and the batsman didn't also get middle of the bat. Just a little Chinese cut. Getting him 4 runs.
Definitely taking no prisoners this afternoon. Zawar Farid, 23 of 15 now.
Oh, that was an extra bounce you're talking about. His master had this. Earlier we saw him bamboozled the batsman Zawar Farid with his shortland delivery. This time tested him outside off with that pacey
Well, the shot was on if you could have just gotten it over point.
But
There
at
was width on offer.
but there is at the same time a risk of getting out because that ball can be in the air and there is the backward slip, backward point fielder. Oh, slower one, but could not control at all, missing the target.
Yeah, it was the right idea, trying to bowl a full slower one, but just got the line wrong.
Yeah, it's all about the varieties, the shorter format of 20 overs game. You need to let the batsman guessing. One ball you test him with a quick delivery and then the next one should be a slower one. Nice and smooth action. Again, this is going down the leg side. Another wide. 2 and 2 now. I don't think so. Lightning has enough runs on board to give a lot of extras. They need to control the extras to work out a bit there.
Yeah, just 23 years of age, young Jack Blatherwick was especially scouted by Glenn Chappell, the head coach of Lancashire. Feels he is a bowler of a lot of talent, a lot of promise, and you can see why the raw materials are in place, Abid, aren't they?
Definitely, I see. He's just 20 years old. He bowls so well. He bowls at the right channels, gets that extra pace and the bounce. So I see him going long way ahead and wishing him also. And it would be good to see some strong lad. You need these kind of bowlers, the raw material fast bowlers. We are missing in the action in the international arena. We need so those tall and very smooth actions and generate some extra pace.
This time down the leg side, trying to tickle it away, given as a wide. Also represented the England under-19s, so you can see he is a bowler of some promise and some caliber. Just needs to put it all together, and playing in these alien conditions, that'll do a lot for his development.
Well, we're talking about the mighty England team. If you're making into the under-19s of England, so that is something you have got in yourself. It just you need to apply on yourself a little bit hard work, and you're pretty much there. Just like this delivery, big shout, going down the leg side maybe. Umpire turned down that appeal.
Well, that was very lucky indeed for Zawar Farid. He was trapped on the back foot, full and straight from Blatherwick. Just sliding down the leg side perhaps. The umpire was quick to say no. He's definitely not been comfortable against him. He has that pace and bounce to his name. Interesting bowler. I'm definitely going to be following his progress for Lancashire this evening. This season rather. Aryan Lakra meanwhile, he's been waiting for his strike for a fair while. Back of a length ball squeezed away to point, only for a dot ball.
Yeah, Aryan did not send his partner back on time. Zawar wanted to get single. Could have been a mix-up. But at the end, Zawar pulled himself back and ran back to the non-striking end. I think Lightnings are hunting for the wicket. They're looking that one wicket to get them back in the contest. So far, the openers have done a beautiful job.
Yeah. Once again, trying to find that gap behind point, but not quite placing it here, Aryan. So Daniel Lamb coming back into the attack. A change of ends for him as well. Oh, this has been launched down the ground, but hasn't timed it mid-wicket. Takes the catch, and that will be the first wicket down. Zawar Farid has to depart.
Yeah, he got carried away. Maybe frustrated. Staying for a long on non-striking end. He saw the ball. Was never for the big hit. And soft hands. Easily taken in the deep. He's covered in lots of grounds. Zawar Farid walking out. Really not impressive there. Just one big hit of 6 runs. But scoring 23 of just 19 deliveries.
So the captain of the UAE side, Ali Shan Sharfu, coming in at 3. Zawar Farid just getting carried away there. And Danny Lamb picking up the wicket, the breakthrough that the Lightning were looking for. It's not an easy pitch to bat on by any means, Abid. So he will need to take his time here.
Yeah, indeed. You just can't come down the track and play your shots. You need to, as I said earlier, you need to spend some time in the wicket. You need to understand the bowler, the conditions, the surface. There's so many things that you need to combine all together, and then you can play your inning that what you're looking for. But I think 33 runs of 19 deliveries is not too bad.
Quick single taken here, and now the communication and running between the wickets will be a lot better. These two have been playing together for absolute ages. They understand each other. And this man is a very, very strong prospect for the UAE senior team. A lot is on his young shoulders for the future of UAE cricket.
Yeah, already leading under 19. I did a great job for the team as he led the team in West Indies. Won that platter.
Good delivery on a length, just squeezed away to point. And you can see why. Very organized technique, strikes the ball hard. He's good at those horizontal bat shots like the square cut and the pull. Loves to hit on the up through the offside. So Danny Lamb, I would have a slip in for him if I was Keaton Jennings.
I think Alishan's a strong zone being on the mid wicket or cow corner. Yeah. So I think the more you bowl him onto the pads, the more he enjoys.
Yeah, he's very strong in that region too. Hits mighty sixes. Just needs to rein in his attacking instincts sometimes. Gets carried away. 39 for 1. It's been a decent batting power play for the UAE side.
Good running there from Marian.
Squeezed away to point for a quick single to conclude the over. A good one for Lancashire Lightning.
Yeah, we were talking about me and Qasim about Tom Hartley. He's been a very talented spinner. He is, and the conditions will suit him. The slow wicket and a bit of grass on it, so I think it will be a perfect bowling conditions for him.
Nicely driven down the ground. So just looking to rotate the strike for the moment, and that's the right policy. The required run rate is barely above 6.5, 7. So if you just bat the overs, you'll get to the target quite comfortably here, Abid.
Yeah, you don't need to really rush things. The first 6 overs is always crucial. You need to avail those 6 overs, use them pretty well. Oh, gets a bit of age there. A single, quick running. Yeah, but at least be a bit by having these two batters together in the middle, the running will be a very quick.
Yeah, excellent communication, good delivery as well from Hartley, hitting the splice of the bat, just turning a bit off the middle. Let's see what Aryan's approach will be.
I see Aryan Lakra is a bit comfortable against Tom. Being a left-hander.
Yeah, tall left arm spinner and genuinely turns the ball too. Oh, dragged away towards wideish long on. Didn't quite time it there, Ali Shan, but he's not going to die wondering. He will counter-attack the spinners.
Yeah, we know that his approach and a typical captain's approach, but then he's being coming at number 3. You cannot afford to play lots of dot balls. Oh, this time goes into the gap and it's running towards the boundary line, but well done there from the backward point.
Yeah, beautiful cut shot there from Aryan Lakra. Was ready for it. Saved a certain boundary there. While taking a look at the lightning bowling so far, 5 bowlers used, plenty of spin and pace in there, but not looking particularly threatening here, Abid. What would you do if you were Keaton Jennings?
Well, I'll probably go towards the spin options. I think now the spinners will slow the proceedings. He's doing exactly that. Oh, just slightly away from the fielder. Good efforts, but excellent shot. 4 runs.
Well, that was short and wide and asking to be smashed. And Ali Shan Shafu obliged. Backward point fielder perhaps getting a fingernail on it, but not enough to rein it in.
Yeah, definitely. It was slightly away from his approach, his reach. And Ali Shan getting that, finding that width and using it for 4 runs.
He's so savage on anything that's bowled short or wide. Like I mentioned earlier, really good on those horizontal bat shots.
Well, you need to bowl at the right channels, I think, to keep the batsman slow, or just if you're not being able to pick up the wickets, just don't give them runs. Don't leak the runs.
Spearing that into the pads of Aryan, and he'll be just content to tuck it to mid-wicket for a single. So very much in run accumulation mode. Josh Bohannon, the bowler here.
Yeah,
Very good
opening.
first class record he has, Josh. So looking forward to him translating that into white ball cricket too.
Yeah, they come with a proper channel. Oh, this time goes finer and finer. The batsman gets 4 runs.
Well, Alishan Sharfu has found his groove quickly here. This time fired in onto the pads and just tickled around the corner. Lovely leg glance from the captain. Take a look here. Just fired into the pads and just nibbled around the corner. Lovely shot. And even the outfield has quickened up a bit, dried out. So making good progress here, the UAE side, looking in pole position.
Yeah, 2 boundaries in an over will definitely hurt Lightnings. And that too on a spinner when they have just brought Bohannon just to contain some runs. Shows his experience.
Yeah, of course, the results do not quite matter. It is a pre-season friendly after all. But you always like to win, even though the stakes are not too high. Keaton Jennings using all of his bowling options.
This time cuts it. The ball runs away for 4 runs. It's raining boundaries.
Well, Aryan Lakra, you wake him up at 3 in the night and bowl it short and wide, he'll cut you away for 4. That's his favorite shot.
Yeah,
Bit of a misfield at backward point and brilliant execution.
it went quick, it went fast, and the outfield could not just hold on to it. Very good batting from Aryan. He seems having fun there.
Tom Hartley to continue here then. Bowling it full into the block hole. And Alishan Sharfu, I haven't seen him for a few months. He's been busy, of course, on national duty. But he looks so relaxed and so composed at the crease these days.
This one easy picking for Alishan. Wide outside off. So even the Tom is struggling a bit there, and I think the captain has a lot of belief in him to get him a wicket or just bowl some magical spell.
65 for 1. We're in the 9th over right now. Slower ball, nicely fielded. Oh, Aryan Lakra just being a bit adventurous there.
Yeah.
Lancashire fielders keeping him honest.
Yeah, living on the edge, I would like to call it. So Tom Hartley is just looking for the wicket. Yeah, this one played towards the own side. So only single will be taken, and UAE is on a comfortable position to win the game. It's a pre-season tour of Lancashire.
Creating some room, just drilling it past that cover fielder. And he just feels so much more organized at the crease, doesn't he, Abid?
Yeah. Right now, I see both the batters very comfortable, and I think the wicket is also got favoring a batsman now. Really not very much a threat to the batters. Easy picking it's been, because the more you bat on a grassy wicket, the more the grass dies and the batsman seems enjoys.
9 overs have been completed. It's 68 for 1. So once again, spin being introduced from both ends now. Jack Morley coming into Aryan Lakra. Will be interesting to see if he takes a dip against the left arm spinner. Looks fairly comfortable at the crease right now, Aryan. Big appeal, and he's been given a spinning delivery, bowled at pace, defeats the inside edge of Aryan Lakra's bat, and he's been given, the dreaded finger has gone up.
Yeah, the Lightnings were looking for this breakthrough. Aryan Lakra probably the right man to work out, because the left hander creating that right and left hand combination, troubling the bowlers. An excellent delivery there onto his comeback. Morley just bowled accurate, and the ball was just going and hitting the middle stick, and the umpire making no mistake, raising his finger, and Aryan Lakra walking out.
New batter coming in at 4 is Ansh Tandon, number 13 on his back. Classy left-hand batter. He is another very, very promising young player. Has a big future in the game. And he'll be looking to get a score here. Catch the eyes of the selectors. Very technically correct. Looks very elegant when he gets going, doesn't he, Abid?
Yeah, super fit. Works hard. Very young, got a bright future ahead of him. If he keeps on working hard, he's got a few classic shots in his textbook.
And now that the ball has gotten a bit softer, Jack Morley, he's bowling it quick, and he's getting that ball to zip off the surface as well.
Yeah, he looks a different bowler after picking up the wicket. Look at that. Just a bit of the air.
And there's a short mid-wicket in place, so good captaincy here from Keaton Jennings, though he's vacated that area now. Interesting field change. Certainly planning something here. Once again,
Ansh is just doing a smart work, that he's just coming in the line of the ball to play that. If he just does not do that, he'll find himself walking out, because the way Morley is bowling, it's very easy to get an outside edge. Meanwhile, halfway through,
Bohannon to continue. Change of ends for him. Big full toss. Bunted to extra cover. Missed out there, Ansh. He does take a bit of time to get going, but once he does, he's a treat to watch. One of those players easy on the eye. Bowled quicker once again. Finds the gap at cover this time. So he'll just ease it away for a single. Meanwhile, Alishan Sharfu still out there. Oh, back cut, but the backward point fielder is standing in very close there. Just working it to mid-wicket for a single there. So Alishan Sharfu, the game plan is pretty clear for him. Just occupy the crease. The run rate is going along nicely as per requirement. Just around 6.5 or 7. They don't need anything more than that. Keep wickets in hand. Oh, edged off the keeper's gloves there. That could have been a chance. A very difficult chance, it has to be said. But those are the strokes of luck that you need going your way. Hard cut shot there from Ansh. This time fired into the pads and he'll take a single down the ground. That's the smart approach. Eleventh over comes to an end. 72 for 2. Big hit down the ground. Long off is interested. And he takes a good catch. Ansh Tandon running out of patience. And smartly taken by young George Bell out there long off.
I told you, Ahmed, you just can't go out there and play your shots. You need to stick around. This wicket has a lot of purchase for the spinners. And Morley taking the second wicket. He didn't time it well. And mid-off making no mistake there. A soft dismissal. Unstunned and walking out. Scored just 3 runs of 9 deliveries. Well, the new batsman coming in is Fahad Nawaz. Very talented. He's very strong towards his covers. He would like to play against Morley, I think.
Yeah. Require a mature and seasoned campaigner at the crease. Even though young Fahad is only about in his early 20s, he's played so much cricket at a high level. He'll read the game situation. Ansh will be disappointed with that shot.
Well, tell you what, the current under 19 captain Ali Shan with the former under 19 captain Fahad Nawaz.
Absolutely, both been in leadership roles in the UAE setup. Squeezed away to mid-wicket. They're pushing for two. They will go. Good turn and run. Chance for a run out. But Ali Shan getting the dive in. And I think he might have made it there. He looks confident.
Well, I think the keeper is more confident than Ali Shan. There you go. They completed the first one very quickly. Oh yeah, he's made it, I think.
Excellent dive there from Ali Shan. He needed to put it in. And now just pushing it down the ground for a single, keeping the scoreboard ticking. This is good batting.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest assets you can add to the game when you're not been able to find the boundaries and the wickets are trumling. And the way Morley is bowling, you just get to the other end, take singles or take quick runs.
Well, why hasn't anybody called him Jack Murali yet? The way he's turning the ball, bowling beautifully. Ali Shan just squeezing, rather Fahad Nawaz squeezing it to mid-wicket to get off the mark. So it's a good contest going on right now. Good battle between a spinning ball and the bat.
Yeah. Probably the fine left arm spinner. Here we have a little guest also.
Indeed, you are at the Sevens Cricket Stadium, Oval number 1. We have a healthy crowd in supporting the Red Roses and the UAE boys. Good to see cricket finally returning back to normalcy in a post-pandemic world. This is, of course, the first tour being taken by an English county side to the Middle East after the pandemic. And it's not just the boys, it's the Lancashire Thunder, the women's team as well, who have accompanied them. So we have to doff our hat to the Lancashire County Cricket Club. It is very much a game for all now. 12 overs gone. 77 for 3.
That's a quick delivery down the leg side, running towards the boundary line. Will it be given leg byes? No. There is a bat involved.
Well, George Balderson coming back into the attack and immediately straying down the leg side, and Ali Shan Sharful, he is not going to miss out. Just when they were building some pressure, given away a priceless boundary.
Quick running, good response from Fahad Nawaz. Wanted that single too badly. Well, when you don't have much to defend on board, then every boundary counts. So whenever the batters gets the 4 runs, they get the momentum and they get upper hand in the game.
Yeah, spot on there. Ali Shan moving into the 20s then. Only defending a target of 138. Need to be switched on here. Pulled away off the front foot by Fahad Nawaz. There is a mid-wicket sweeper out there. I'd like them to be a bit more adventurous in their field placing though. Try to bring in some men into the circle. Perhaps try to create a false shot.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Just cut down those singles, I think. Otherwise, even at this stage, Lightnings are getting hurt with these singles.
Squeezed away to cover for a quick single. Once again, the communication between these two young charges is very, very good. Played a lot of cricket together.
Playing cricket together, I think Lightning's players, they have played some big amounts of the games together. They hold up plenty of experience. Coaching staffs. Sent back Ali Shan by Fahd Nawaz. There was never a run.
Yeah, have to be careful there. Don't want to run out at this stage. You are controlling the game if you just bat the overs. Don't want to bring the opposition back into the game. Fahd Nawaz just steadying the ship after Ansh Tandon gave it away. Nicely flicked away behind square. Beautiful shot for 4.
Excellent shot there. Pretty much in control. A slower one. Pick the line and length. And look at that. Free play will tell. That was easy picking. And I think the wicket is just now is slightly favoring batters.
13 overs gone. 87 for 3. Oh, and there's a wicket here. Tom Hartley bowling the worst delivery of his spell. And he's spooned it straight to backward point as Qasim Ali joins me in the comment box. Welcome, Qasim.
Thank you. That was a soft dismissal there. Horrendous delivery, but a soft dismissal of Ali Shan there. He's going to be gutted. He was looking very good there, settled in, but very disappointed with that shot.
Very soft dismissal indeed. And you can see by his body language he's bitterly disappointed. But Tom Hartley coming into the attack. Short and wide filth. Sometimes it works, Qasim, doesn't it?
Yeah, filth gets wickets, as they say.
Well, I've never heard that, but I'll take your word for it. So it's Nilansh Keswani coming in at 6. This is a strange decision. A very big promotion for him.
Yeah, an interesting role for Nilansh now in the back end of the game, needing 52 runs off what is 41 balls. So he's a quite a gutsy player. He's a touch player, but he has a bit of power in him as well. It'll be an interesting sort of position for him to come and finish this game off, or at least get UAE into a position where they can finish this and win this game.
Yeah, gutsy is the right word to describe him. Completely agree with you. He will stay at the crease, play the ball on its merit. Nicely worked away towards square leg. So he'll get off the mark quite comfortably here. So just a bit of a wobble here for the UAE lads.
Yeah, they don't want to lose too many wickets in this period. Obviously, they've got some exciting batters, but they want to keep ahead of the run rate, and they want to just try and close that run rate as close as possible. But I tell you what, it's going to be a tight game from here. Lanky boys are definitely not giving up on this one.
Solidly behind that quick single taken within the circle. Bit of a risky one there, but their commitment to the call was good. Scampering immediately. Nilansh, well, we're seeing that a lot more these days. Batters tending to wear their specs rather than contact lenses. Tom Hartley in the middle of a comeback spell here. Just keeping a touch low there, but kept his eye on the ball.
Yeah, nicely played from Nilansh. Good hands, saw the ball straight onto the bat, played square of the wicket. That's really good from him, quite similar to his opening run. And this is what Lancashire is very good at, just nurdling, finding the gaps, just keeping the scoreboard ticking over, letting Fahad do all the work at the other end.
Yeah, exactly why he's been sent in at 6. Big sweep shot. Fahad Nawaz. And he's been put down. Can you believe it? Another opportunity created, but it's been grasped. The UAE lads are not going about this the wrong way, the right way.
Yeah, and I'm sure the Lancs lad will be disappointed with that effort, especially the bowler Tom Hartley. He set him up nicely there. False shot there, and obviously a little bit of a drop, which could be costly for the context of this game.
George Boulderson out there at deep square was just dipping on him and caught him a bit flat-footed perhaps. This time they are going to call for a drink perhaps. It is quite sweltering out there. 14 overs gone, 92 for 4. So aggressive change in the bowling here. Jack Plathwick coming back into the attack. He's been very impressive to me. Nicely pulled away by Nilanch. He is not scared of the quick men at all. Working it into the gap, and they'll pick up 2 in fact. Excellent shot.
Yeah, nicely played from Nilanch. And yes, you're right about the bowler. He's got some heat on him. Just speaking to the bowling coach out there, Graham Onions, he was quite impressed with this young man. Signed him from Nottingham a couple of years ago. Seems to have all the right dynamics and the mechanics of to be a really fast bowler, bowl the top speeds.
Yeah.
I'm sure a good prospect for Lancashire.
Played for England under 19 as well, and if Graham Onions is doing his mentorship, he'll be a very fine bowler indeed. What a bowler he was in his prime. Cut away behind point, but there is a third man in place. Graham Onions, some of his Ashes spells were a treat to watch in those nippy conditions.
Yeah, he was a fantastic bowler for England, but also my compadre on the level 4 coaching cohort, so I got on really well with Graham and got to know him really well. So a lot of interesting times with Graham, so I've got to know him really well, so good man.
Yeah, a lot of very well-known ex-England lads here. Craig White is here too. Of course, we all know about Warren Hegg as well. I remember him very clearly, the way he used to play those paddle shots when they weren't in fashion back in the day, when perhaps, well, I don't want to age myself, so let's just leave it at that. In the late 90s or mid 90s, perhaps.
Go on, be precise. Give us a year. Give us a year. No, quality man is Warren, an important feature of the Lancashire setup. Fantastic individual human being, and he's quite a character. So lovely bloke.
And of course, Stephen Parry working with the Lightning side as well, with the girls. Good to see ex-Lancashire lads being involved in coaching and mentoring. Nicely worked, but straight to backward point. No single there. So even this game is developing into a bit of a simmering thriller here, Qasim, isn't it?
Yeah, I called it early doors when I was outside watching it, not in the comms box. It's going to be a bit of a tight one, especially if you can maybe squeeze 1 or 2 tight overs here from the Lanky boys, and put some pressure on the young sort of UAE batters. Could be an interesting finish.
Yeah, I think this is going to go right down to the wire once again, just like the Thunder versus UAE women's game. Final over stuff. Plathwick bowling a good spell here. Just bowling within himself, not trying to be too quick. making sure the line is right, not offering any width.
Yeah, and don't forget, this is the first game for the Lancashire Lightning out in the desert, and they don't want to be obviously picking up any injuries or overdoing themselves. So it's a good chance for these guys to get through their workloads and bowl effectively well, but also try and pick up a couple of wickets.
Well, you call it the desert, but it feels like we're watching a game in New Zealand. I'll take a bit of offense to that. Feels like Mount Maunganui at the Women's World Cup. Lovely grass banks. Very picturesque venue, the Seven Stadium, cricket oval number 1. Pulled away this time. There is a deep fine in place. So good field setting. So only dealing in 1s and 2s so far. 15 overs gone. It's 98 for 4. So taking a look at the bowling options here. Jack Morley, the spinner, still has one, as does Blatherwick. Danny Lamb and George Balderston, the medium pacers, have 2 each. Tom Hartley has 1 to go. And Josh Bohannon gave 2 overs as well. So I think it's going to be a lot of Morley, Blatherwick and Hartley to finish. Morley, the left. Oh, this is going to be Bohannon for now, pulled away. There is a sweeper in place. So trying to sneak in an over of seam here is Keaton Jennings. So this game, as you mentioned, definitely looking to be another final over thriller. What a start to the preseason friendlies we're having. Nilansh Keswani, a surprise promotion, but it might pay off here for UAE. Let's see if he can hold his nerve. Has very mature head on his shoulders. Nicely flicked away. Mid-wicket and square leg. Catching up to it. No, it's gone for 4. 100 up for the UAE.
That's a good shot from young Nilansh onto the leg side there, and he's hit it crisply well in between the 2 fielders. Timed it really well. And Bohannon looking desperately on there from the fielding efforts down on the boundary. And what a fantastic shot that was.
Yeah, timed it to perfection. Rob Jones out there, despairing dive. Just trickling over the boundary rope. So conceding an early boundary in the over, that spells trouble, doesn't it, Qasim?
Yeah, it does. It puts a lot of pressure back on Bohannon, who's gone for 23 off his 2.2 overs. Been a little bit expensive. Actually bowled a little bit flat and a bit too quick for this pace of wicket, especially the back end of the game. So he needs to just take a bit of pace off if he can.
Quicker one just flicked away to mid-wicket once again. They're pushing for 2, but they'll stick to 1. So Josh Bohannon needs to get out of this over quickly here.
This could be an interesting matchup for the last couple of balls. If the right-hander Fahad stays on strike, I think he'll try and go after him and relieve a little bit of pressure for the UAE guys. Maybe pick up a boundary.
Yeah, he's always looking for that square cut or that paddle, kind of a square leg hoik he plays. Oh, excellent keeping, given us wide. Taking the bails off in a flash. Good work there by young George Lavelle.
Yeah, good work from Lavelle. Good hands, good posture at the crease, and kept his balance really well. Excellent work there.
Almost overbalanced there, Fahad Nawaz, but had his wits about him. He's batting on 13 off 11, taking his sweet time. Oh, punching on the up. That's risky on a slow track, but burst through the hands of Josh Bohannon for a single. So this game is getting a bit tetchy, getting a bit edgy here. Even Qasim Ali is squirming in the seat beside me. He doesn't know who to root for.
Won't call it squirming.
Well, he's definitely showing a very nervous body language, that's for sure. His lanky lads and his UAE lads all battling out there. Loyalties divided.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, I've got Nilansh, who's one of my academy prodigies, on the crease, and I want him to do well, obviously. But my affiliation and ties and deep-rooted connection with Lancashire, obviously I want the boys to do well and get off to a good start in the campaign in the desert.
Yeah, it's been a excellent day one of this pre-season tour. Competitive cricket in tough conditions, it has to be said. Oh, pulled away past the fine leg. That should be 4. Fahad Nawaz gets a boundary to end the over. Priceless 4 runs.
Yeah, well-timed 4 runs from Fahad there. Not sure about this delivery. It was a bit of a poor delivery. That short ball down leg side, it was there for the picking, and Fahad makes no mistake, and it's gone for 4 runs.
Well, that boundary has certainly reset the equation. Danny Lamb into the attack. Nicely flicked away once again towards mid-wicket. Only one, but this mini cameo that Nilansh is playing here has proved to be a game changer, Qasim.
Yeah, I called it. I called it at the start. I mean, Lancashire is one of them players where he just wants to sort of get a single, couple of singles, rotate the strike really well, and then he'll look to sort of muscle on and power on. So it's been excellent introduction into the game.
Yeah, excellent coaching move here, has to be said. It's paying dividends. 112 for 4. They're bossing the game right now, but another wicket here could swing the pendulum right back into the middle. Danny Lamb, he has a wicket to his name. Kept a touch low there, punched firmly off the front foot by Fahad. He's really good in that cover region, and he's another player who's been earmarked for a leadership role, and it's about time he starts to deliver on that promise.
Yeah, he's been around the system for a long time as Fahad, and obviously quite heavily performed in domestic cricket, so I'd be interested to see what his next career move is in terms of where he's going to go and how he's going to play about it. Good to get him involved in the system, but one earmarked for the future for sure.
Yeah, it's guys like him and Ansh Tandon. Pulled away this time, beats the fine leg. That'll be 4 runs. Nilansh Keswani, you beauty. Going for that short ball once again. Down the leg side, and he was ready for it. Climbed all over it.
Yeah, I'm not sure the short ball option on this pitch is the right option. I think taking pace off and trying to bowl your cutters and bowl into the wicket is probably a better option. It's harder, a disguise for the batter to get through the line and hit with the pace. Bowling short is probably not an option. They've climbed into it, the UAE batters.
Slower delivery this time. That's much more like it. Nicely flicked to mid-wicket. They're just going to get 1.
So that's the type of deliveries that I'm talking about. If you can bowl them consecutively, really look to sort of strangle the batters in terms of the number of run-scoring options they have, you actually bring this game a lot tighter than what it possibly could be if you're just bowling short and wide, putting pace on, allowing the batters to beat the inner ring, so it could get a lot tighter.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the pace of like Jack Blatherwick, for example, to bowl short. Playing across his pad, bit risky there, Fahad, but he's seeing the ball nicely here. They're pushing for 2. Oh, a hard throw at Danny Lamb. He's been floored. Almost took him out there. Have to be careful. It's only pre-season.
It's only the first day as well.
Just tucked into mid-wicket. The fielder absolutely hurtling in there. And take a look at this throw. Oh,
and it
hit
was
a divot perhaps.
And it was Liam Hurt as well who was hurtling in. It's a big strong throw from the big man. Taking a bit of a bounce off the edge of the wicket. Nearly took him out.
Well, that could have been very serious trouble for Danny Lamb. Thankfully, it's all good. Slow delivery just worked to backward point for a single. This is very good batting by Fahad Nawaz. 17 overs gone. 121 for 4. They're almost there.
Ready.
So an enthralling contest coming to its thrilling conclusion. Jack Morley once again on to bowl down the leg side. Given as a wide there, trying to fire it in. He bowls quite quick for a left arm spinner, but he does get the ball to jag off the surface.
Yeah, good pace. Possibly a little bit too flat, but obviously trying to utilise this wicket as best he possibly can. Really good bowler. Come through the academy ranks. Fantastic product for the Red Rose.
Yeah, he looks a very good prospect, especially for this format. Bowls quick through the air and turns the ball. And they always stress the wrist spinners. They're successful because they get those revs when they bowl, even at a higher clip. Playing around his pad, big appeal this time. Perhaps just sliding down leg.
Yeah, just going down leg side. Nice pace, and he's coming to the over really well here. Jack, a young prodigy. I remember him being at the indoor centre training hard on his skills in the winter program. So a really good prodigy. So it's a left-hand bowler to a left-hand bowler. Nilansh to obviously Morley to Nilansh.
He's had a good day at the office. 2 for 13 in his 3.2 overs. Can he nick another one? Perhaps open the door for his side. They're only about 15-16 runs away from their target. Nilansh Keswani. Honestly, it's only 19 of 13, but it feels like a man of the match contribution for me. The way he came in and changed the momentum of the game. Oh, paddled around the corner. Beautifully executed. And they'll pick up 4.
Well executed. Good option. Good thinking from young Nilansh. That's excellent cricket.
Just using Morley's pace against him. It was a touch straight. And very smart batting indeed by young Nilansh. Nicely done. So Jack Morley striving for a wicket, perhaps overdoing it. .127 for 4, 2.5 overs remaining, only 12 runs left to defend. Oh, this time being a bit adventurous, trying to back away and loft it over extra perhaps.
Yeah, using that space, using his crease really well, trying to make some space on the offside, and a good option against a left arm spinner there, but just unfortunately missed out on that.
What a fabulous start to the Lancashire pre-season tour we've had. 2 thrilling games. Oh, chance for a run out. Direct hit would have done the business. Lucky there, Nilansh, but it seems to be his day.
Yeah, got away with that. Good single as well.
Hit straight to the fielder. It was on his strong side, but just that throw when he was off balance. Couldn't drive the ball through. And that perhaps saved Nilansh in the end. Punched off the back foot. They should pick up 2 here. It's to the right of cover. Easily done. Fahad Nawaz showing his experience, showing his class. And this will be a huge moral boost for the young UAE lads to get a victory over such an experienced, not experienced, but a very famous outfit like the Lancashire Lightning.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the Lightning would have probably been a little bit disappointed with the outcome of the game. However, an important aspect for the players to spend some time, quality time on the wicket, but also go through some of their checklists. So I think they will be also disappointed with some of the 1%ers where they might have missed out on a couple of drop catches, the width and length that some of the bowlers have bowled, probably the finish on, the batting perspective, the middle overs. So some areas that they can definitely take away and probably improve on. But overall, a good first outing for the guys.
Absolutely, it's the first game back after a prolonged off-season. Getting back into the swing of things, so it's only game 1. Nothing to be concerned about. But the raw talent that I've seen on display here, the likes of Tom Hartley, Jack Morley, Jack Blatherwick, very impressed. George Lavelle, George Bell. And the skipper is already in good form, Keaton Jennings. And some big guns to return to the lineup. Oh, he's been caught, Nilansh. 1 shot too many. defeated in the length and the flight, and a straightforward catch at mid-wicket.
Yeah, what a straightforward catch that was. And you just mentioned, you know, a good crop of Lancashire's young homegrown players there from the academy, and that's what they really pride in trying to develop some quality young players who can perform on this excellent platform to go on and represent, hopefully, the international side at one point.
So a decent cameo from Nilansh Keswani comes to an end. But they're just about 9 runs away from the target.
Ali Nasir. 10, 9, Ali Nasir, batsman.
So Ali Nasir, fast bowler. Can he bat a bit here, Qasim?
Ali Nasir can definitely bat. I mean, he is a gifted young cricketer. He had a fantastic knock in the World Cup, even against England. He powered on to 60-70 then. He's a quality young batsman, a quality young player for UAE, and I think he's got a bright future.
Yeah, he had a very good World Cup indeed, with the bat and the ball. And he's definitely a very strong prospect for the national side. I think they're just waiting for him to mature and take that next step. Pulled away this time over mid-wicket. He'll find the gap. No, there's a deep mid-wicket out there. Good hard throw by Josh.
Yeah, and he's sort of tipped to be the junior UAE Stokes. Left-handed batsman, right-arm seam bowler, power hitter, good athlete. A little bit of characteristics and personality about him. So I think he's definitely a prospect for UAE in the future. Maybe even a short cameo to go to Australia in October.
Absolutely. Cut away, pass point this time. The deep cover will have to work hard here. Just about gets around to it, but they'll pick up an easy 2. I love the way Fahad Nawaz is just placing the ball on this big square outfield and picking up those 2s. That's the sign of a top player.
Yeah, very mature innings there from Fahad, just holding the innings together and playing his textbook sort of cut shots that we all know that he can play really well. A wide delivery.
Well, that winning score is just about a hit away now. So it's been a good examination of the bowling resources. They'd like to see more from the batting, the Lancashire Lightning and the UAE side. They'd be fairly relieved just to get the W, if they do. Punched away off the back foot. Of course, these sides will meet again throughout the week. Plenty of matches coming up. T20s between the UAE women's team and the Lancashire Thunder. And also the Lightning and the UAE will face off once again. And then we have a 2-day game between the Loughborough side, the university side, and the Lightning on the 15th. And that'll be a lot of fun. Some red ball cricket in the UAE. You don't see that too often these days.
I think it'll be a rude awakening for some of the UAE boys, that's for sure.
Final over coming up then. Just about 4 runs required for victory. But once again, it's a final over thriller at the Sevens Cricket Oval number 1. Right then, 4 needed off 6 for the UAE side. Well, Qasim, you weren't here earlier in the day, but that is exactly the equation that the Lancashire Thunder needed against the women's side. So, some symmetry to close out the day for us. And who's going to bowl the final over? Looks like it's going to be Danny Lamb. And interesting, he's coming around the wicket to the right-hander. So he might be aiming to pitch the ball wide of off, growing across him. Fahad Nawaz on strike. Here we go. Down the leg side, he's clipped it away to deep fine. They're going to push for 2, and they'll pick it up quite easily here. So didn't get the direction right on that delivery, Danny Lamb.
No, he didn't. But margins, error for margin here is quite big, so quite fine, sorry. So, the element of picking up twos at this point of the game is quite crucial. So them fielders on the boundary need to be really anticipating this ball coming to them.
Right then, 2 needed of 5. Fahad Nawaz has the opportunity to hit the winning runs. Oh, down the leg side, the umpire having a look. I think it's off the pad. Nope. So dot ball. Some pressure building here.
An interesting ploy here. Obviously trying to work him out to the leg side. So it'll be interesting. Fahad Nawaz won't mind that, actually playing off his legs. The people of the UAE know that's quite a strength of his. So I don't think he'll mind that at all.
Got away with that one, did Danny Lamb. 1 for 23 on the day. Can he deliver 4 good deliveries here? Do I dare say it? Could we have a super over? That'll be interesting. That's one way to start pre-season. Just checking his field once again. So a reminder, they need 2 runs of 4 deliveries rather. Fine leg has come into the circle. So that flick shot is on. And also that one knee paddle he likes to play. Ball in the block hole, squeezed away. Past the cover point fielder. It'll run away for 4. And that will be victory for the UAE over Lancashire Lightning.
Comprehensive win there from the UAE boys there. Really good to see from some of the local lads playing here against the mighty Lancashire Lightning, and some of the players coming over from the Red Rose County. Great opportunity for the young lads to showcase their skills, and a good outing obviously for the Lancashire boys.
In the end, it was fairly comfortable, a 5-wicket victory. Fahad Nawaz, 33 not out of 24. He'll feel really good about that. Alishan Sharfu getting some runs, and Neelansh Keswani as well. So all looks in good order for the young UAE lads. And Lancashire Lightning, day 1 of pre-season. The results don't really matter. It's all about building up that practice. And I think they'll be quite pleased with the form of their captain, Keaton Jennings, and some of their spin bowlers, Jack Morley and Tom Hartley, doing really well. And Jack Blatherwick, the tall, quick, very impressive indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, day 1, outcome really doesn't matter on this particular occasion. I think their outcomes will be obviously once they start their season back in England, and their checkpoints for today would have been quality time spent on the wicket. They might have obviously be a little bit disappointed with some of the 1%ers that they could get better, but I'm sure they'll rectify them on the debrief and try and get them better for the next outing. So yeah, fantastic win for the UAE boys.
The game was played in an excellent spirit, and good to see smiles all around. So in the end, it's a 5-wicket victory for UAE over Lancashire Lightning. We've had plenty of action-packed cricket right from 11 a.m. It's about 5:30 p.m. local time. This was the Lancashire Lightning bowling attack. Then Jack Morley, 2 for 20, very impressive. Jack Blatherwick looked sharp, looked quick. None for 18 in his 3 overs. Danny Lamb was a bit touch expensive, 1 for 27. George Balderston, none for 22. He came in for some tap. Tom Hartley, 2 for 21. Very, very impressive indeed. And Josh Bohannon, his 3 overs proved to be a touch expensive. And well, that is the match summary for you. Lancashire Lightning won the toss and elected to bat first, and it was the skipper himself setting the tone. 62 of 47. Did an excellent job. Young George Lavelle and Rob Jones also contributing, and UAE in response. It was Fahad Nawaz, 33 not out of 24. Alishan Sharfu, the captain, also chipping in with 25. Jack Morley and Tom Hartley with 2 wickets each to their name. But in the end, it was a comfortable victory for the home side by 5 wickets. Let's take a look at some of the second innings highlights here then. Not a big target to chase at all, but they went about it quite nicely here. Zawar Farid aggressive from the start. Brilliant chip shot that just sailed away for 6. Jack Blatherwick tested the middle of the pitch, bowled with a lot of hostility, a lot of precision with those short balls, but this one slightly lucky there. Top edge gone for 4. Aryan Lakra, nice pickup shot, was in the slot and he took full toll. Read the fuller delivery from George Balderston, and this time this is his favorite shot over mid wicket. Big gaps out there in the batting power play. Zawar Farid bringing out the paddle then and executing it to good effect. Just running away to fine leg for 4. That was a bit of a agricultural hoik, but effective all the same. Running away down the hill at the oval. And this was one shot too many. Good disguised slower ball from Danny Lamb and a smart catch taken by the mid-wicket fielder. Young George Bell out there. He was very impressive. And then Alishan Sharfu took responsibility with the bat. Anything loose he punished outside off or down his pads. Aryan Lakra, he hung around for a fair while as well. Nice back cut put away behind point for 4. Very strong on that shot. Jack Morley coming back into the attack and then he started producing wickets. That was plumb in front. Aryan Lakra could not get away with that one. And then Ansh Tandon, a shot out of character, trying to be aggressive and could only find the long off fielder who took a smart catch there. And then it was once again some poor deliveries put away by Alishan Sharfu. He got a lot of runs down the leg side, just playing that fine leg glance. Definitely. And Fahad Nawaz with his trademark one leg swipe over square leg. And this was the moment that changed the game. Nilanj Keswani coming in to bat and picking up those priceless boundaries towards mid-wicket. And this boundary that pretty much sealed the fate of the Lightning today. That final ball 4. And then Danny Lamb coming in. Was pulled away. Fine leg in the circle. Couldn't get around to it. The final roll of the dice. Jack Morley once again coming in. And Nilanj just kept going on his merry way. Excellently constructed shots. Knew where the fielders were. And chose the right time. This one, he was unlucky to find the mid-wicket fielder. Just couldn't miss him. And in the end, it was Fahad Nawaz who had to hit the winning run, squeezed behind point, found the gap, going all the way for 4 to seal victory for the UAE. Right then, we're all set for the post-match ceremony with Abid Ibrahim. Over to you, Abid.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the post-match presentation party. We have got very important personality, Mr. Mark, the director of Lancashire, with me to provide the mementos. First of all, we would like to know that how does it feel to come in UAE?
Oh, it's been great, yeah. I mean, we've been here for a few days now and we've thoroughly enjoyed it. We've been here a few times, but we've really enjoyed the experience today.
Are you proud of the boys, the way they played and adapted the conditions pretty well?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously difficult when you're coming off a winter indoors. So it's our first outing on grass, so obviously a bit rusty. But overall, yeah, I thought it was a really good outing, so it was good.
Thank you so much. You need to be here. Well, we call the man of the match of this game. It's none other than the skipper of highlights. The captain, Keith and Jennings, please come forward to receive your award of the man of the match. Well, can you tell us how much was the difficult conditions to coming in, obviously from UK to UAE and playing at the very humid conditions? Was it different a lot?
Yeah, like Mark said, we come out of a long winter indoors, so to come outside in 38-degree heat was hard work and a nice first outing for the lads. Obviously, you want to win, but a very good first outing for the lads. Bowlers' first time properly on grass, batters' first time competing in a game. So, look, very happy with where the guys are.
The wicket was not the way easy to bat, but you batted so well. So tell us about the surface.
Yeah, very sort of normal subcontinent type feel. General sort of low and slow, a little bit of spin, ball got older, and the game got sort of harder to try and move forward from a batting point of view. So look, it was a good experience, and hopefully one that a lot of the younger lads who haven't played in these conditions can learn from, and hopefully take to Emirates Old Trafford and use it when we do play on sort of older, more sort of slow surfaces.
So you were something about 15 to 20 runs short, do you think so?
Yeah, probably 20, 25. Thought we bowled alright, but we probably just didn't have enough pressure all the way through. But like I say, proud of the guys of how they went through it. It's hot, first time out of an indoor school, so look, very proud of the boys.
Well, wish you good luck. Give us a good show for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks. Well, now calling the captain of UAE, Ali Sharfu Ali. Ali, congratulations for winning the game. What do you think, making out of this game, winning this game, how much was crucial that the visitors have come out with plenty of experience and you just led a young team?
Again, it was a good opportunity for us, and the boys took it well. And no one really got big scores, but I think the way we started with the ball and just finishing off with small performances from everyone, I think it was a good show from our team.
Well, your first 6 overs was there when Aryan and Zawar, they were starting the innings. The opening, do you think the opening stand is you are satisfied with right hand and left hand combination? Then coming Aryan at number 3?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to send out the left hander and the right hander, so it gives a bit of a good combination. And they batted well in the tournament. I mean, in the power play, and then from there onwards, we just made sure that the run rate never went up really. And then after that, everyone chipped in with 25s and 30s, and we got the score.
We enjoyed the previous under-19 captain Fahad Nawaz along with the current under-19 captain Ali Shan. Was it useful to share the pitch with the former skipper of under-19?
Yeah, I mean, we enjoy batting with each other, taking singles and stuff like that. So it was good fun batting with him, and hopefully we get some runs together.
Well, congratulations, and looking forward for these kind of performance from you.
Thank you, cheers.
Well, guys, that's a wrap from here from us. So we'll see you tomorrow, where there will be double headers against Thunders taking on UAE Women's. See you until then. It's a goodbye.
Changes in pace. This is absolutely spectacular. And from nowhere,
Full stretch. Absolutely stunning.
Look at his face.
it doesn't get better than this.
Oh, that's unbelievable. That is utterly incredible.